I played it.
Good job.
I played the song.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even
Kite Man,
practice
hell
it.
yeah. So how was your last 3 weeks?
I didn't really know it was 3 weeks, to be honest, but when I think about what happened, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah?
It was frustrating. I spent most of my time waiting for one computer part to come in. My
Sounds
RAM.
about right.
I did all that stuff to get the computer built, and I did not realize how old my last computer was, that we moved on a generation of RAM. Now everybody's on DDR4, and it's hard to get DDR3, but my new motherboard was DDR4, like it's supposed to be, because it's a new motherboard, and I thought my old RAM would work, because I planned to use some of my old parts to save money, but that didn't work, so I had to go and order RAM, which is super cheap right now. I got 2 8-gig sticks for like $80. But Newegg sent them USPS, or sorry, not USPS, sent them UPS to be finalized by USPS. It's like the UPS Innovation Service or whatever. They've got dumb names for every type of delivery. But they said that they delivered it to the local post office at like 4 a.m. on a Sunday. And a post office isn't open on Sunday. So my package was lost for a week and a half.
Wow.
Yep, and I put in a claim with USPS, and they're like, we didn't receive it. This company that ships these packages that come out of Carlington, Texas, towards the Okmulgee area, they usually stop in Muskogee and they deliver on Fridays. I made that claim on a Saturday, and I was like, so it got there yesterday. You should have it. And they're like, well, no, I don't know. I don't think so. So I couldn't even put in a claim with USPS because UPS, because the tracking number that they have for that type of delivery is, I guess, technically a USPS tracking number, and they won't handle claims for it. So no matter what I would put into the automated phone system, UPS would not take my call to handle this. So I wound up calling Newegg and being like, hey, you got to bitch at somebody because your package is lost, my package is lost. They won't take my call. One of them won't accept liability. Like, either lean on them or give me my refund. So by the about 2 hours later, I got an email that my package was found and it was delivered the next day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fuck UPS, dude. And my dad loved it because he thought that the post office was a total failure company, proving themselves to be unfit to deliver ballots in an election. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not had problems with UPS before, but I always have problems with USPS because my mailbox is too small for everything, I guess. Oh, you ordered a pair of glasses? Sorry, they won't fit in your mailbox. You have to come to the post office and get them.
Lazy
We
shits.
tried to deliver your glasses in your mailbox, but it was too small. Fuck off.
I liked Midwest City's USPS. They were really quick about everything. And it was easier when I lived in a house. Once I moved into the apartment, I just had everything delivered to John's house. But Okmulgee, there seems to be some issue with big companies getting things to last mile to mom's house. It's not even that rural of an area. But the USPS out here does not seem that sharp. Amazon never has a problem. But Amazon will pay just about fuck anybody to finish the last mile delivering a package. So it's always here on time.
Yeah, never have problems with Amazon delivering shit. Like, it's always here. It's where I want it to be. The fucking USPS pisses me off because it's like, number one, my glasses could have fit in the mailbox. But as it turns out, because I watched the thing say, like, oh, it was delivered or whatever, or couldn't be delivered on my phone. So I ran out as quick as possible, and the mailman was still there. And he's like, oh, I don't have it. It's like, so they would have fit in the fucking mailbox. They just decided at the post office that it was too big to fit in the fucking mailbox.
What a jackass. So they probably
Wow.
they probably have your apartment blacklisted, I guess.
Well, I ordered some t-shirts and they arrived in the mailbox. I don't know.
Yeah, the post office shouldn't know what's in the package, should they?
No.
Because you don't
I
see
would
that on the
assume
tracking
not.
number.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
because what if you want to order a child or a pocket pussy? Those are both very embarrassing things.
Well, then, a child and a pocket pussy.
For different things.
I wasn't saying they were for the same thing. I was just saying it's a weird mix. But yeah, like you just go to Amazon for those things.
Yeah. The I sold
And
you
then,
on eBay.
and ask and tell them that it's a gift, so that way they put it in a in a box that is secretive.
Yeah, all these discrete packagings that come back. I don't know if John and Audrey have it set that all of Audrey's packages are supposed to come in pink envelopes, or they just order a lot of sex stuff.
I mean, knowing them, it's probably the sex thing.
Yeah, those are the people that I would suspect to have that type of arrangement.
Sure.
It's
I
not
just got tired
discreet.
of ordering electronics and them like being in like brightly colored boxes of this is a keyboard, this is a Nintendo Switch. They're just sitting out there on my porch or whatever in
So
front of my door.
you just order
Yeah,
them
that
as
would be-
gifts.
Yep, order them as gifts and they show up in discreet packaging.
Those blue boxes that look like gift boxes.
No, just
Oh.
a normal ass brown Amazon box.
I'm always in an Amazon box or the Amazon envelope. I haven't gotten any. It's been a while
Like
since
normally, like for the longest time, that's how I would get stuff. But then, like whenever I ordered electronics, for some reason, it's just like, oh, they're already in boxes. Fuck it. Like,
That's kind of how it should be, but yeah, I've been fortunate not to deal with that in a while. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? My computer tower came like that because the box for the computer tower is already massive, and that's fine.
yeah. I mean, it's one thing if it's like this is my house and it's blocked off where you can like leave the package and everything, but like my door is like literally less than a foot away from my neighbor's door. So,
Yeah.
it's better to just not have packages being like, "Oh yeah, this is a computer monitor. Anybody who wants it can take it." You know?
This makes me the things you're describing makes me feel like you've been building a PC.
Nope. I
Damn.
haven't. I wish. Cuz I was editing stuff today and why can't I have like a 9-hour timeline in Adobe without it being all like laggy? It's not fair.
I don't know. I do know that I don't have Adobe yet because I don't have $50 right now or $60. And I don't want to fuck with the free trial unless I'm going to actually do some paid work. But Davinci Resolve works really, really, really good on my new hardware. I was very surprised by it. I'm using old footage though. So when I put Windows on my old hard drives, I couldn't first of all use my old SSD. Something is wrong with it. I had to put a new copy of Windows on it, which I plan to do anyway because I had Windows 7 and I wanted to upgrade to 10. But
10 Pro or 10 Home?
10 Pro,
Oh,
up to 2 terabytes of RAM.
nice.
I'm never gonna have 2 terabytes of RAM. I don't even know how you get that without server parts, but yeah.
Magic.
When I would
In your
use
dreams, maybe?
After I put it together and I tried to boot off the old SSD, it said there was a hard drive or a hardware and software failure and we need to repair it or try to start normally. And either one, the computer would crash again. So I had to put Windows 10 on a thumb drive and do a new boot. I had to boot from the thumb drive and install. Or first, I had to format. I didn't want to format both of those drives. I wanted to just drop Windows 10 onto the old SSD. Because that would be fast and I wouldn't get rid of all the old footage that was on it. But I had to format the whole drive because it was corrupt. And then it still wouldn't boot Windows because I guess that drive is just fucked. So I put it on my hard disk, my 1 terabyte from back in the day, and that managed to work. Now I can still see my SSD when I boot up. I can still use it as a drive, and it has Windows on it. So I'm not sure if I can actually boot from it or not. I'm still going to upgrade to an NVMe probably in the next few months. But regardless, my external, my 4 terabyte external is still working, and I found a bunch of stuff on it. I found my unreleased review for Hardcore Henry. All the footage and audio
that
for it
existed.
because it wasn't released.
Yeah.
I sit down, I pour whiskey, and I start drinking and talking about Hardcore Henry in front of our old green screen. So
Wow.
I drop it in Davinci, and I key it because I've never used Davinci's key tool before. It was pretty simple, and then I start messing with it, and it's flying, man. this new generation of hardware is quick. I do have a 12-core CPU, but I don't have a GPU that's like modern or relevant. My GPU wasn't even that great when I bought it. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah, I have the GeForce 620.
Let me see what that sells for right now, because you could probably get a couple $100 for that. You can
Probably can't get shit for that.
No, the GPU market's that bad. You can get money for anything with a display port on it. Is it the 620 or the 6200? It's the 620.
620.
You had more RAM than I did on your graphics card.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. No, you don't. Yeah, it had half it. That's not the worst.
Yeah, I was on Twitter, and this PC company, Origin PC, like put out this thing. I don't know, like it was like a meme or whatever, talking about like a new PC being fucking Ring from Lord of the Rings or whatever. It was dumb, but they're like, would you destroy it? And I was like, no. But if you're feeling charitable, I'll gladly destroy my old one to not see this screen anymore. And I like took a picture of the Adobe warning thing that says like, your drivers are not supported here and stuff's gonna mess up. And somebody like commented, holy shit, that's like, you gotta do something, man. That's old, because it sits there, it has like my graphics card information and shit.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the right one, yours is quite a bit older than mine, quite a bit too old, shitty one.
Yeah, I bought it 7 years ago.
Yeah, and you bought a prefab, so they were already dumping old hardware in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, your RAM state. So graphics card RAM states have always been a generation ahead of just like RAM sticks. Yours still runs on DDR3. The new generation is DDR6X.
Wow.
Yeah, you're way behind. Your GPU uses the same RAM as my RAM sticks that won't work anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, your GPU really is a piece of shit. It's actually $30 on eBay. I can get it as low as 20, but it looks like it has a scuff on it.
That's hilarious.
No.
Yeah, I gotta do something, man.
It is a piece of shit.
It's fucking old. But man, it's lasted 7 years and it's still working. I haven't had like a lot of issues.
That's a testament to the quality.
Yeah.
Mine's still
But
working.
now that I've said that,
covered in
I
dust.
need to find some wood to knock on. Yeah.
My Radeon Sapphire has a dead fan, but it's covered in dust, which is my fault because I left it in a dusty environment. But it runs. I booted up. I still had, of course, your Steam account never goes away, so I put some Steam. First thing I did was I put Steam games on my computer before I even put Chrome on my computer. I was just like, let's get Steam back. Let's play some games.
Oh, yeah.
Let's try to figure that out. I'm going to start. Actually, last night I was supposed to start my first new editing reel because John's got a gig. My uncle booked a gig in May, and he hired me for the editing. So I'll do that. I'm hopefully going to have Premiere before then. But John's shooting a sketch right now, and would recommend me for the editing, but the guy's going to need to see a reel. So I'm just going to go download some stock footage from Pexel, I guess has free stock footage, and try to find some royalty-free music to blend up and cut together an editing reel that has none of my footage in it.
Okay.
And then start doing that. Start trying to build a business out of this editing thing now that I have a rig again.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Get them Fivers, get them Thumbtacks, get them Upworks. Start taking
Nice.
gigs.
Sounds like all the stuff that I never want to do.
I'd rather do that than go back to the call center, which I've been going back to. I took a little bit off. I freaked out for a little while. Parents went on vacation. I was drinking too much and I'm not going to work. But yeah, I've quit drinking for a little over a week now, and I'm going to be sober until July. But I've gone back to work too, so I can get enough money to make sure I have all the things that I need for the editing business moving forward. And I'll be trying to focus on that. Hopefully, before I move out of my parents' house, I will not be working at the call center.
Hell yeah.
Hustle moves, bitch.
Nice.
What have you been doing?
Working. Yep, that's pretty much it. Just working and counting down the days until I get that other half of a vaccination and can go do something.
I became eligible on Monday, but the place I want to go to doesn't have my second Pfizer shot yet.
Damn.
There was, on the 19th will be the soonest date I could drive within an hour of me to get another Pfizer shot. And that's 40 minutes away, and then the latest appointment's at noon. I prefer an appointment about 2:30. Let me check my local listings real quick.
Yeah, my second appointment was made when I made my first one. They were just like, okay, so you're getting it on this day? That means that this is the other day. It's already made, same time, be here.
My local, the clinic that I went to said that they won't have my shot until a week after I'm eligible. So they didn't book me. They didn't give me a link for a place. The email I got had a link to the booking website, but I'll have to find some place that has the second shot. Let me double check it real quick, see if anything's changed. I'm excited. What's the first thing you're gonna do when you're 2 weeks after your shot?
I am not sure. I might go bowling. Cause one of my friends likes bowling and keeps asking me to go bowling. I'm like, bro, it's the fucking COVID is happening, and that seems like the sticking your fingers in holes that other people's fingers are in, having to wear other shoes. Ugh. But I might. I don't know. Might go to the mall since I haven't done that in forever. Might go see a movie. I don't know. If you were closer by, I would say let's hang out. You know, but I ain't going out there, and I'm not expecting you to come out here.
I'll come out there periodically. The state part 2 of the CARES Act has taken care of my rent at my apartment, so technically it's still my legal address until July. So I'll probably go back there periodically and clean a little bit and do some stuff. And of course, I want to come back and see people. I don't want to just be stuck up here in Okmulgee forever.
Yeah, I mean, I figured you would come out every once in a while, but you know. Yeah, I don't. Obviously not just being like, "Hey Jeff, want to hang out? You should totally come to the city right now."
I would. Like that. I would put the dog in the car and come right now, but I've been prioritizing building a computer over other adult responsibilities, so I'm uninsured right now. I'd have to borrow my mommy's car, and they kind of need their cars. They have cars to get around, but you know they'd prefer to have their other car. They have 2 SUVs and then a giant F-250 pickup. It's a 250 or 350. It's a truck that's too big for my mom to enjoy driving. She feels scared taking it long distances.
Gotcha.
And the SUV that they're waiting to get rid of is almost 300,000 miles, and they just had the thermostat stay at max heat on the way back from Walmart for no reason. So they're concerned that it might die soon, which is legit. I think it's just the thermostat, but you know, they don't want to chance it. They're looking to get rid of it. Yeah,
sounds like a casino car. 300K miles on it.
It is a casino car. They're casino fools.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They were supposed to go do one of those promotion things at 6 a.m, and I was supposed to go. They thought about having me come do it because it's going to be big money, and I thought about it too, even though the promotion runs from 6 a.m. to noon. One of the issues is that they don't trust me with the tax documents because, of course, if you're in a group like that, whoever hits a jackpot has to sign for the taxes. And they signed for $40,000 worth of tax documents, but only made $6,000. So they're gonna have to have their tax lawyer figure that out. But they wound up not being able to pursue the rest of the promotion because my stepdad got a sinus infection. So they had to wait for their COVID test to come back before any of their little group of gamblers would let them come play.
Gotcha.
So they missed some money.
Yeah. So it's a risky business.
They had people coming here too. Their little manager was going to come stay for a couple of days and have red beans and rice. Also, I know my mom never listens to these, even though she tells me she does, so I'm just going to say it. You forgot to rinse the beans. You should rinse beans if you're going to cook fresh beans, not in a can, Mom. Because there's sulfides on them and shit, and that's why we get bad, crippling, painful gas. You have to rinse the beans, or the gas will physically hurt us. I can get beans anywhere and not die, but the gas that you get when you make a fresh pot of beans and leave them in their own water overnight and never rinse off the nasty stuff is just terrible, painful, stanky gas.
This is why I don't buy beans at all. Period.
There's technique.
No matter what.
There's technique. You can do it safely. You do have to prepare your beans. They were in the dirt their whole life, or
Yeah.
or however beans grow. I don't know. A vine.
They grow on like a sprout.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and they're gross. You have to rinse them. Still decent red beans and rice. I ain't complaining, but I'm also complaining.
All right.
Rinse your beans.
Never. I will never rinse my beans.
Rinse your beans, Zach.
You can't make me.
With manscaped.com, it's all men should be rinsing their beans with our ball wipe deodorant. Use discount code Whitney for 15% off your first order.
Whitney Cummings?
Yeah, or discount code Tim, or H3H3, or Frenemies, or probably Joe Rogan too.
Or pretty much any YouTube or podcaster who has 500,000 or more subscribers.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could use the coupon code Audible, or just other coupon codes you would use for Audible.
Use Audible, use Honey. Those are all the coupon codes for Manscaped.
Yeah, and when you're checking out at Manscaped, don't forget to use Honey.
And also, don't forget to use the coupon code Squarespace.
Yes. I'm debating if I should learn how to use Squarespace or if I should try to learn WordPress.
I mean,
I
don't know.
I would text John to see which one I should learn, but I'm pretty sure he'd tell me to learn WordPress.
Pretty sure he'd tell you, learn the most difficult thing possible.
That too. If I
Learn
ask,
the hardest version.
because we've come at this conversation a handful of ways about getting clients and running small media businesses and what packages to offer. And he's been both, I could make websites in a notepad and you should learn Python or C++, whatever the fuck. But then he's just like nobody needs anything more advanced than a WordPress site unless they're going to pay you a salary. So learn WordPress. I could teach you in 40 minutes and then sell people basic websites. Which is basically what my uncle does and what I would think I should include in the business plan for small business marketing packages, build their website, do their photos, give them social media ads,
Sure.
things like that. But yeah, Squarespace looked easy. I remember failing to make one, but that's because I failed to get the RSS feed up, but the rest of the website wasn't that hard to make on Squarespace.
Yeah, the RSS thing was stopped us very hard. It's like, why is this difficult? Why is this the difficult thing?
Yeah, why don't I just find pre-made code I can slip in here like MySpace?
Right? Fuck.
Stupid asshole, silly stupids.
Exactly. Squarespace is supposed to be easy, unless you want a fucking RSS feed.
Yeah, that's why I'm switching to Wix.
Trying to think who uses Wix. Wisecrack. There you go. Code Wisecrack.
Yeah, if you want a website that looks like a bunch of poorly assembled clip art, use Wix.
I have no idea what it even looks like. I haven't looked into these things. Did the Squarespace one once. Back in the day. Same as you.
Oh, how did you do?
It was awful, and I hated it.
Shit.
And it was pointless and dumb.
Shit. They're never going to sponsor us.
Unless they pay us money, and then we use it all the time perfectly. Just don't go searching for it.
Yeah, I made websites all the time. I make websites just for fun.
It's so easy.
With Squarespace.
Squarespace. Build it beautiful, or whatever their thing is now. I don't even know.
Make it square.
I skip ads. Make it square. In space. Yep. So is John super rich now that Dogecoin's a thing?
I'm so fucking mad.
Because I was feeling the same way. I'm like, bro.
I told
really?
like 80 people that I was going to buy Dogecoin. I told them that it was going up, and the next investment, the investment I'm making once I can sell my free Robinhood stock is Dogecoin. And I told people to put money in Dogecoin. It's going to meme spike. I called it. But then yesterday I was scrolling through Facebook, and someone's like, it's up to 20 cents. And it made me so fucking mad because it was like less than a third of a half of a cent when I wanted to invest. John's got 513 coins. So yesterday when it hit 37 cents a coin, John had $200 in assets. Let me see what it's... And he paid nothing for it. That's all from his free stock. Let me see what Doge is at right now. Because I've already put $5 in. Once the market opens, I'm just buying $5 of Doge. I don't care if it's at 30 or 40 cents. It'll go up. Doge is sitting at 30. That's pretty steady from yesterday, but the market's supposed to be closed on weekends. I think you're only supposed to be able to actually buy and trade on business hours.
Things I don't know.
The market has an open and close time. This is stupid. I'm so mad, dude. I wouldn't be rich, but like I'd get my car insurance back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I could do a little bit with that. I had some other ones written down somewhere that I was just like, these are the things I should do for my Reddit style short trading. Jump on them. Bullshit. Do you own any crypto?
Nope.
Have you started work on getting a new car?
Not really. I'm just waiting for my car to die. That's kind of how that's gonna go.
Have you invested all of your stimulus yet?
Nah, I still got it sitting in my bank, mostly. Nice. Like, I think I'm just.
What else have you been doing?
Just debating on whether I put that towards moving out of this apartment in September.
Did it happen? Did we drop a call?
We better not have. I'm talking. Hello? You fucking. Are you joking with me? God damn it.
I don't have these problems with bill collectors and shit. What's up?
And I said it's because they have business phones that don't drop.
Stupids. Assholes.
Yeah.
So you make any progress investing in a vehicle?
Ooh, nope. Just gonna save money as long as I can until this thing just like shits itself and dies.
Yeah, you could put. It's just an oil leak. You could keep dumping oil in it till it's dead.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a lot of things, you know, because there was already the issue of the struts needing to be fixed, and that was $1,000, and the brakes need to get done, and that was a couple $100. You know, and I just don't want to put any money in it. God, I'll probably do the brakes.
Brakes are important.
Yeah, I've
brakes
noticed
go real suddenly.
They're kind of slipping a little bit. So I should probably do that.
All I've done this week other than topics is wait to build my computer, and it's up and running, and I have plans for it.
Yep, and I've just been working and sleeping and working and sleeping.
Sounds good. So, I guess we could do some topics then.
Sure, where you want to start?
Let me take time to smoke this cigar for a second.
Okay, then I'll start. I guess we start with stuff we watched. I watched Godzilla vs. Kong.
I didn't.
Lucky. No.
Are they releasing versions with just the monster fights yet?
No.
Oh, they should.
Yeah, I've said it before that American Godzilla is not really working in these movies the way that they're doing it, and that they should just hire really good, like, choreographers and special effects artists to just make, like, 30-minute fucking things to put on the internet of just fucking monster fights that are, like, creative and cool. Would be great.
I'd watch that.
But, you know, WB doesn't really know how to make movies. They've kind of stopped knowing how to make movies. The fact that they can fuck up so many DC and Harry Potter adjacent things when the fan base is so rabid for those things as it is, and they just make awful movies? What are you going to do?
Maybe they should give it to Sony.
Maybe they should just, like, get rid of it. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like it's got a lot to do with AT&T. Since they're kind of the ones in control of everything.
That's true. They own HBO and Warner Brothers. Well, they own Warner Brothers, so of course they own HBO.
Cartoon Network, all that shit.
Yeah, it could be more money people not really giving a shit, just like licensing shit to be done.
Yep. It's crazy. But, yeah, this movie was, like, fine. Like, the human characters were, like, kind of barely there. They didn't really matter that much. But it was kind of a waste of time every time we saw them because they didn't really do anything to the plot. They were just kind of there to spout exposition and move Kong into position to fight Godzilla, I guess. Yeah, it was not a great movie, but it had some cool stuff. They just didn't go far enough. The coolest fight happens. It's the first fucking fight of the movie. And the only reason it's cool is because the setting is like King Kong is on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And Godzilla strolls up in the middle of the ocean. And it's like, bro, King Kong's going to get his ass beat. And, you know, he kind of does. But the thing that's annoying is, like, they drop depth charges while, you know, King Kong and Godzilla are underwater to, like, stop the fighting or whatever. But you don't get to see what happens underwater. I mean, apparently, I guess it works. But, like, you don't get to see what happens. Like, King Kong just comes back up on the boat. And that's kind of, like, the end of that fight. It's like, bro. This could have been way cooler. Way cooler.
King Kong's like at least half the size of Godzilla, right?
They're pretty close to the same size in this movie.
Now, how the hell you get him on a boat?
It's a big boat.
Okay. Can Godzilla just hop up on the boat?
No. He hangs out in the water because, like, he swims well. He lives in the water. He's good.
For some reason, I imagine him just walking up to the boat. He was that tall.
That would be cool. But he's a good swimmer. Are you planning on watching this? Like, do you mind if I spoil shit?
What the fuck can you spoil? I have questions about the human
I don't know what
storyline.
was in the trailers. I didn't watch any of the trailers. I haven't been watching trailers, like, at all, especially for stuff where it's like, this is something that I want to see anyways. I'm not going to watch the trailers for it. So I don't know what was in the trailers. I don't know if you saw anything. I don't know.
I do want to know things about the human storyline. Is anybody trying to save their family?
Vaguely. Not really, but, like...
Is anybody trying to repair a romance?
No.
Okay. Yeah, might be okay then. You could spoil this one. I don't think I'll be surprised because I would like either monster to win, but Godzilla is the king of the monsters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always the third character that shows up.
Bum bum bum. Is it Ultraman?
Because this is a versus. Man, that would be cool. What a crazy twist that would be. It's Mecha Godzilla. So there's
What?
that.
Who made Mecha Godzilla? Stark?
Yes, Tony Stark. Tony Stark's ghost, actually, because he's dead.
We need a suit of armor around the Zilla.
Nah, just some evil corporation.
Okay.
You know, they decided, we're going to use... It's such a weird fucking stupid thing. Like, so, you know, in the last movie, which was total garbage and shouldn't have been, Ghidorah, you know, dies. Ghidorah, the three-headed Hydra thing that shoots lightning or whatever. Which is apparently he's telepathic and shit because his head is so far away from his body as to communicate with it telepathically or something. That's what they said. I don't know. But they used that. They turned his skulls/brains into a, like, supercomputer to fucking pilot Mecha Godzilla.
Okay.
And then it, like, there's something happens, short circuits or something, and then Mecha Godzilla is, like, out of control and on his own, and then King Kong and Godzilla have to fight him, and it's really fucking dumb.
Yeah, that's not what happens when
then,
something short circuits. It just stops working.
Yeah, well, I saw a thing, and there was a joke that, like, maybe it was just the ghost of Ghidorah. The ghost of Ghidorah possesses Mecha Godzilla and, you know, kills the creator and all that shit.
That makes
It's just
sense.
dumb shit. Yeah, it makes more sense than the random bullshit. But this whole thing is, like, there's, like, this Hollow Earth thing, which I'm like, is this a thing that people actually believed at some point?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, the Hollow Earth is in this movie, and that's apparently where King Kong comes from. So some of the human characters go there, and King Kong is like, check it out, I found my axe. It's like this axe that's made of like this bone, and then this one of Godzilla's like spikes from his back that's like all radiated and shit, and he uses this axe to fight Godzilla. So dumb.
I didn't know King Kong had an axe.
He does now.
Okay.
It was just like, what the fuck is this movie? And the thing that's so disappointing is, like, there's basically like 3 fights that happen. The first one was cool because it was in the water, but then it ends real stupid. And then the other 2 are like in a city. It's fucking boring. It's like, bro, you introduced to us like this really interesting landscape situation with the Hollow Earth thing because gravity's fucking weird and stuff. And it's like, you know, you look up into the sky and there's more ground. So basically you jump high enough, gravity pulls you to it or whatever. It's like, this could have been a really cool arena to see them fight with like fucked up gravity and stuff, and with other like monsters and shit potentially, you know, fucking around. But they're like, no, it's in Hong Kong. There you go. That's where the final 2 battles take place, is in Hong Kong.
Stupid.
It's like, wow, boring. Fuck you.
Well, now I'm not gonna see it.
Yeah. It's better than the last one. Apparently
the
Kong
last one
Skull Island is like the best one.
I don't know which one I saw at John and Audrey's, but it was bad.
Was there a bunch of different monsters? Was Bryan Cranston in it?
No, I think it was the one with the 3-headed Hydra, maybe, or Moth. Bro, fucking, there's a lot of things underwater and shit. I don't know. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I missed the Bryan Cranston one, which is probably the one I wanted to see the most, just because I thought we would see more Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. Most people said that it was boring because there was a lot of human characters and stuff, but I don't know. I liked that one fine. There wasn't, like, you didn't see the monsters too much. I think that was people's big issue. And then the second one was, like, all monsters, and the humans were super pointless. And now this one's, like, They just didn't go hard enough. They didn't get creative with it. It was just like, yeah, we got Kong and Godzilla. They're gonna fight in a city, and there's Mecha Godzilla, which he looks really cool, but like the fight isn't creative or interesting. So fuck it.
That would have been enough for us in the 90s and early 2000s because it felt like there was this like certain maturity about you can't do certain things that are too cool in movies. There's no way we're going to have wild crossovers. We're not going to have all of the Avengers in a movie. But now it's just like, no, do the really cool thing. Do the really, really, really cool thing. We want to see the really cool thing. We don't want to half-ass Godzilla.
Exactly. Why? If you're going to do something, fucking do it better than everyone. Or else what's the point?
Yeah, we don't.
If you got nothing to offer, don't do it.
We don't want to kind of see Mecha Godzilla. We want to see a Mecha Godzilla, and we want to see it fight the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing.
I want to see him fucking fly up into the sky and shit, you know? He could do that. They could put rocket boosters on his feet. He's probably done it in the past. I'm pretty sure that Mecha Godzilla at one point lived on the fucking moon. You know, you can do a lot of cool, crazy shit, but they're like, nah, bro, Hong Kong fight. They're crashing into buildings. And the most interesting thing, King Kong has an axe for some reason.
We don't need another generation of superhero movies where nobody says their hero's name or wears their costume. We're done with that.
Exactly. Fucking get good, scrubs.
Have some fucking fun. Let's tear up a different world too. Let's play with the gravity thing. It's not like that's going to be much more expensive. It's just going to be harder for you to plan out.
Yeah, and it was such a waste because it was basically like, you know, for the second fight, essentially, Godzilla gets pissed off and, like, I don't know, senses something, and he uses his atomic breath to burn down to the hollow earth through the ground, which is like, all right, that's kind of cool. And then King Kong climbs up through the hole, and then they fight, and it's like, bro, Godzilla should have jumped in the fucking hole. Would have been better. Bah.
After we just had this great sequence with Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with the hang gliding fight, or sorry, the wingsuit fight.
The hang gliding fight.
There should have been one dude in a
that would have been
glider.
so funny.
I'm not sure there wasn't a dude in a hang glider. I feel like there was some parachutes in there too. Just anything that they could put in the air. Kids flying kites, just
kites.
all
Yeah,
of
I was about to say kites.
all of it got thrown through helicopters. All of it.
Yeah, exactly. If only.
So
So that's my review for Godzilla vs. Kong, I guess.
You gonna give it a number?
68 out of 69 because it's just
69.
disappointing. Because it was like almost cool. Almost, except, you know, they just didn't take you there all the way.
I probably won't see
It was like Kevin Smith said, you know, you're getting a blowjob and then she pulls it out of her mouth and finishes with her hand. It's like, bro, like, could have been better.
Could have been. And that's exactly what you should tell her.
Fine, I guess, but could have kept it in there. I don't know.
I didn't
You watch anything?
much. Not much. My mom's been trying to get me to pick more television. Some things I do want to watch. I do want to see the Harley Quinn thing, and then Birds of Prey actually is on HBO Max right now, so I want to see that.
Yeah.
What TV? TV shows that I've watched that you probably didn't watch this week is I went and found Mission Hill. 2 episodes of Mission Hill appeared on
sounds
Fox.
familiar, but I have no idea what it is.
The main characters would have blue hair. They'd be living in like a hipster city. Kid comes out of the suburbs. Very funny. If you Googled Mission Hill animated series, you might recognize the pictures. But yeah, it had 2 episodes on Fox. There's 13 episodes in total, and then the rest of it got picked up by Adult Swim, which is why I think you might have seen it.
I know this.
Yeah, Adult Swim 2002. If you were watching Adult Swim in that summer, like you definitely watched all of this show. But Amazon
I've
owns
definitely
it.
seen a lot of this show.
Yeah, it's a beautiful show. I missed it so much. So
I forgot it existed.
the only place that you can get it is you have to pay for it on Amazon, but Amazon is not that good with their content ID system. So there's actually a YouTube channel called Mission Hill Full Episodes.
That's how I used to watch Scrubs, actually.
I used to watch a lot of stuff like that, but people usually crack down on that. Let me make sure I got the. Yeah, it's just called Mission Hill full episodes. They have all 13 episodes in order. They're great quality. Yeah, I've watched 12 out of the 13, and it holds up so hard. It's so funny. It's the humor's so witty. The little quirky moments that they spin with the animation, like drawing daggers when people are staring at each other and shit like that. Just good, funny, physical animated humor and witty commentary. It's like we had that streak of just really witty, funny, modern characters that came out of I don't want to say Kevin Smith films because now they sound dated, but it is kind of up that alley of humor where all the characters are kind of too smart to be talking like that. But it was fun. It's great. It's got Brian Posehn as a side character, and all the rest of the actors aren't famous right now. But it holds up. It's just as funny as I remember it, and I'll probably watch it again. Just because it's only 13
I remember
episodes.
watching it, but I don't remember it for shit. I remember this girl with the fucking awful bangs for sure.
Yeah, Posey. Those are some iconic bangs.
Yeah.
Dogs. Will you
Thinnest
stop
hair in the
growling?
world.
She has a lot of funny scenes. The last time that I had heard of it was during the global situation. Last summer there was an article about the creators not doing a revival of Mission Hill, but having a spin-off with the two gay characters, Gus and Wally. And I don't think that's been shut down yet, so that might be coming in the next couple of years. But I think they should just reboot it. It's got a crazy strong. It's still a cult favorite, but it's not well known. It's got ardent fans for something that appeared on Adult Swim for such a short period of time. People still know what it is.
Well, I mean, they're doing like a Beavis and Butthead revival and fucking Daria and all that shit. Like, I'm sure this will pop up within the next 10 years or so.
It's so much funnier than Daria. Daria's so slow.
Never watched it.
I went back and tried to
watched
watch
very
it.
little Beavis and Butthead, so.
Daria's on Hulu.
Oh,
It is funny. It is funny. It is just bad editing. But maybe it picks up in later seasons. I don't know. But yes, Mission Hill, just as funny as I remember it. Love it. Can't wait to watch it again.
Nice. I started watching Invincible, so that's a thing.
I don't know what that is.
It's an animated show on Amazon. It's based off comics made by Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fame.
Oh, now I know what that is.
Okay, yeah. So I started that. That show is fucking nuts. It's crazy. It's incredibly brutal and unexpected. First episode's nuts. Because it's like, it starts out and it's kind of like, this just makes me feel like it's a ripoff of the Justice League cartoon. And it's like kind of boring and uninspired because these characters are very much just like the Justice League, essentially, and it's kind of boring. And then it breaks into like, okay, so here's our main character who's like this high school kid who basically just gets his powers and his dad is like, kind of like Superman, but it's J.K. Simmons, and he has a mustache.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a guy. It's got like a crazy good cast. Like Seth Rogen is in it, and like lots of people popping in. It's crazy. But then it kind of turns into like this family situation, like drama kind of thing, where it's like, all right, I'm getting used to this tone, and then like it has a post-credit sequence where his dad just brutally murders the rest of the superheroes. Like, in pretty creative ways. And it's, like, super bloody and gory and just, like, brutal as fuck. And it's like, whoa. Did not expect that at all. Out of nowhere. Very surprising.
He's probably been mad at them for a while.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I'm like... I've only watched the first 3 out of the 6 episodes that are out right now. But I don't know. I got theories. I think because he started acting weird whenever he found out that his son finally got his superpowers, and I feel like it's like almost like a Highlander thing. And the way that he talks, it's almost like because he talks about how he came from his planet or whatever to Earth to be like the big superhero and shit, and it almost feels like he's killing all the other superheroes because he's not the hero that you think he is. It's more
He's
like
egomaniacal.
this is his fucking planet. Like, he owns this planet. Like it's an evil alien race that took over or whatever. And he's even weird about his kid having powers at this point. So it's like, I don't know what's happening.
That's
But
a
it's cool because
twist.
it's J.K. Simmons. Yeah.
I like that.
So it's interesting.
So
I
comic books have
recommend it
been,
if you're interested.
comic books have probably been dealing with the rampant, morbidly dark alternate superhero universe type of things for a while now.
Yeah. When I heard about this show coming out, lots of people were talking about how cool Invincible was and shit. And so, like, I was wanting to read the comics first. But when it comes to comics, I want the hard copy. I want to have it in my hands. And I went and found, like, the first volume omnibus or whatever. And it's, like, $70 for the first one. And then it doesn't get cheaper from there. And there's, like, 7 volumes. I'm like, oof. That's
Fucking
too much
Kirkman.
money. That's crazy. I mean, people fucking love them.
It's so weird because, like, I know Kirkman's a big name. He's not the biggest name in comic books. He just had a big TV show off of a big comic book. And it
Yeah.
feels like that media should be cheaper, but also a lot of hand-drawn artistry, and, like, comic books are so much harder to make than some other things.
Oh, yeah.
Because as expensive as it is to make a movie, the things that people are doing are not that specific and difficult. Like, it's way harder to draw a brilliant scene than it is to, like, just make people put lights up and go find some place and put costumes on people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, there's lazy comic books and less lazy movies out there, though. Just
That's true.
depends.
Yeah. I could agree with that. My comic book would look like shit and would not be worth $70, not even in the omnibus.
Me either. Yeah, that's crazy. I was just like, fuck, bro. I'm used to like $20 to $30, but 70 is just too fucking much. It's nuts.
I hate it because buying all those would be like a serious investment from your, like, that'd be like stimulus spending. That would be a chunk. That'd be a few
Yeah, that's
$100s.
Yeah, $300 or $400.
That's a
crazy.
no. That's
Absolutely
a no.
not. Nope. I could probably just sell all the comics that I have right now and maybe make that.
Yeah. Sell all
I got
your
some
Pokemons.
valuable shit.
Sell all your Pokemon
Yeah.
cards.
That I could. The issue is that nobody wants to buy like the whole group, because I've checked out the eBay situation, and it's like, these packs that I have are going for $30 a piece. But I'm like, I don't want to sell one. I don't want to sell one at a time, because then I actually have to invest a bunch of time into this. I want to sell them as a group.
And just ship them once.
Yep, but people don't seem to be particularly interested in that. They're not interested in spending, even though I'm like, yo, $100. That's cheaper than what other people are selling it for, in a group. But they're just not really hitting. There's been some people watching it and shit, but I think there's also the issue of I don't have a past selling history or anything, so there's no reviews or anything. And that's kind of something that people can be, obviously I would look for reviews. So I understand.
Yeah, especially if I was
Because I'm
spending
not
some
just
real
going to be
money.
like, oh yeah, I wonder what's wrong with these. Like, I wonder if it's some kind of fucking going to rip me off. Even though I'm pretty sure eBay has insurance for that. So I don't know. So I'd have to figure out something to do with that.
I'll probably check out Invincible, but I'll probably watch the Harley Quinn series first.
Yeah,
Because it just sounds.
it was enjoyable.
It sounds fun.
What I watched of it was enjoyable, but I haven't like continued. I think I've watched like one more episode since last I spoke about it, so I guess I don't know. Just trying to figure out what I want to spend time on, you know?
Masturbating.
I mean, yeah, gotta have a few masturbation breaks a day.
Yeah, you got to get yourself up to 7 minutes if you want to take this into the real world.
7 minutes ain't shit.
Damn, son. Got that golden nut. Running a long time.
Nah, I just have an easily distracted mind.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like, is the oven on? Do I risk it? Yeah, I'll risk it.
I didn't seriously consume anything. I watched the first episode of Joss Whedon's The Nevers because my mom picked it.
I have no idea what that is.
It's the HBO Max show that he got booted off of after the Ray Fisher investigation. It's set in like a 1896 England. It opens up with kind of a steampunk scene. There turns out to be superhumans all over the planet that all came from one alien encounter that the planet was part of. It just gave superpowers to mostly women. It was entertaining. A lot of obnoxious British accents and British pronunciations of things. I don't even know how they said nomenclature anymore, but it made me feel fucking violent. Nomenclature, aluminium, just, I hate God, such a terrible fucking accent. Anyway, my mom was disappointed to hear about how much shit Joss Whedon's been in the last few years, and she's like, "Well, I really liked this, but I don't want to get invested because the first season is shot and done. I guess yesterday was the debut of the pilot, and then they have 12 episodes, which are 6 2-part episodes, and which is an annoying way to do things, but it's
Definitely.
gonna be yeah, they'll be
I'm
coming
gonna
out
do
every
things that
week.
way though.
I would too. That's absolutely how
I'm
I
doing
would
that
do
with
it.
my Nuzlocke. Because I'm going to do it the most annoying way possible.
I mean, you only played one game, so if there's 20 episodes, it's one 20-part episode. You got to wrap up a
hey, that's
storyline.
fair. Well, I've been editing it, and I've been doing it by gym leader. The thing is, like, so as it goes on, like, it gets, like, the first episode is, like, 45 minutes of me getting to Brock and beating him. The one that I'm working on now is between Erica and Sabrina, and it's 8 hours of footage.
Nice.
So I'm, that'll probably be, like, 4 hours when I'm done with it, and the last couple episodes are, like, close to 2 hours, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to split these fucking things. Nobody wants to sit down for that long.
No. Unless it's a live stream or live content.
Yep. So that's kind
Anyway.
of crazy.
It was still a fun, enjoyable. Well, like the whole world is fleshed out, more than just being England in the end of the last century, or the century before last. Jesus, the world is so old.
That it is.
The enemies are relatively there's mysteries set up. Some of the obstacles our heroes are up against are there. There's an orphanage full of superpowered misfits. That's cute. That's what it is. I expect things like that from Joss Whedon. There's a crime fighting duo. That's a cute little pair up. There's decent storytelling. The pilot looked kind of like it was well thought out, like Joss Whedon planned the shots. It was a decent experience. I wasn't super excited by it. It was one of those things that was like, okay, if Mom wants to watch this every week, I'll definitely watch this over another Masked Singer episode or any of the other garbage she watches. I told Mom I would just Google
what is it with moms? They love watching garbage.
I don't know. Audrey watches The Masked Singer too. Well, she's a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't watch TV like that. I told Mom she was the only person I know with cable, and she was straight up like, we basically buy that just for CNN. Such terrible
Go to the
choices
fucking
of TV.
YouTube channel.
know.
CNN has a free YouTube channel.
Yeah, and they have the CNN app on their TV.
And they have live news. Like, Jesus.
Toxic. So, I don't know if we'll continue watching the Nevers, but that's the only thing other than Falcon and Soldier that I've been watching. Was
Okay.
last night we watched that because I was gonna watch episode 5 of Falcon and Soldier last night, but Mom hasn't seen it. So I told her I was gonna go start that editing project. Fell asleep instead, and she watched the first few Falcon and Winter Soldiers.
Gotcha. But you're current now, right?
Yes, because I delayed this phone call to get current.
Yeah. Which I was hoping that you had watched it so that we could talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't expect to sleep this late because I went to go do that project, and I was like, I'm gonna lay down and see how tired I am because if I'm too tired, this is gonna be bullshit. And then I fell asleep. I woke up at 5 a.m. and I was like, all right, I'm not starting my day at 5 a.m. That's a no. So I took some Tylenol because I sprained my ankle.
5 a.m.
My ankle's really.
I got
killing
up
me.
at 2.
That's when I wound up getting up. I went back to sleep thinking there's no way I sleep past noon, and I know my parents
I'm
are
at
leaving.
2 a.m.
Oh, no way in hell. Dog, that's a slipper. I'm so conflicted because Mom kind of wants him to chew up that slipper, but I don't want to teach him to eat shoes. Why
Yeah,
did
I
she leave
wouldn't
that
do
shoe
that.
out here? Oh, I'm so... Bubby, that's okay. Just play with your... You have
She's
8
training him to be a
sticks.
bad boy.
You have 8 sticks and a ball and a bone. You have multiple bones out here. I love you. Give me kisses. You're going to pull my cords out. I hate you again. God damn it, dog. I love you. Dude, it's like defusing a fucking bomb to get you off my lap right now. You have all the cables under you.
That's what he said?
I love you. You're such a good boy. Anyway, I wound up sleeping until 2:30 p.m. on accident.
So Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Let's talk about that.
I haven't been much more surprised than I was with the first episode. I've been just kind of coasting along, but I've been pleased with it. They have started getting into more TV-ish territory, trying to have all their conversations in the same 4 locations, but when they deviate, when they go do cool stuff, then it's really cool stuff and it's worth saving the money in those places.
Yeah. I don't know. This show has been a little more. I don't know if there's been more stuff in it where I'm like, I don't like that so much.
Like what?
Like it really wasn't until like the 4th episode where I stopped being annoyed by a lot of the fight scenes. Because like a lot of stuff before that was like the shit with Sharon Carter pissed me off to no end.
Really?
That fucking fight in the docks and stuff. There was so many just dumb things in that.
The part
Like,
where she's doing wave combat, or the part where Zemo does whatever he did?
Both of those things. Number 1, the editing was so fucking obnoxious during her fights. There was a couple cool things there, but also like it was just super unbelievable. Like I'm laughing at these fucking dudes. This dude runs up with a fucking Bowie knife. Like bunch of these people had guns and number 1 didn't shoot.
Yeah, there were
And
a
then
lot
this
of people
dude
who
runs up
refused
with
to
a
shoot.
knife. It's like, what are you doing here? If I was the guy with the fucking knife and I'm watching this chick whoop the asses of the people with guns, I'm not gonna go try and attack her.
There were some cool moments in there where she was actually fighting, and people might have been like, I don't think she has a clear shot. But they were just kind of standing there waiting to jump in and get their asses kicked. And then she was in some
Yeah.
long hallways with no bullets going off. And I don't know, Batman's dock fight was way cooler.
Yeah, and I couldn't even, like, there wasn't, you couldn't really tell where she was. It was, like, all cut to hell. And then the part where, who was it that fired the fucking gun inside of one of the fucking shipping containers next to that dude's head, and then they start speaking calmly next to each other?
Yeah, that
They
would
just fucking, boom! Oh shit, we're all deaf, at least for a little bit. Like there was just so much stuff like that where it's like, all right, this is just obnoxiously, blatantly dumb, some of these things. And then the thing where fucking Zemo just shoots that fucking tank and blows everybody up, it's like, come on now. This is...
He put on his
didn't
mask.
even look good. Yeah, that was cool.
That wound up not mattering and pretty quickly. That wound up, yeah. He put on the mask and he was like, oh, Baron Zemo's here. And then they went back to their cloak and dagger shit.
And then they get in a car.
Yeah. I was hoping, I don't know, even this episode where the Black Amazonians take him away, I was just like, Zemo's really going to jail?
Yeah, I was kind of like, that's, like, abrupt.
Yeah, I was like, how is Zemo's...
That was all of Zemo?
Yeah, how's Zemo getting out of this was my thought the whole time. I was like, where's he gonna slip? Who's gonna be the tragic death that gets Zemo out of here and makes him like enemy again? And I really thought it would be like maybe Battlestar, but he wound up dying a different way, which was still shocking. Like I guess I didn't really see it coming. Not like that.
Yeah, I saw it coming earlier in the episode. Something happened where it just seemed, I don't fucking remember, but something happened where it was just like, oh, he seems very fragile at this point.
Yeah,
it feels like they're trying to make him seem more fragile. And
yeah,
now I think something's gonna happen.
When John Walker broke away and he was by himself, and then he got captured and was having a real struggle getting out of shit, and like he was clawing out. He had to pull out his knife and get out of zip ties. He was like, he was a victim most of the time, and a lot of that was John Walker's fault for not being a good partner and sticking with him and shit. But trying to prove himself as a super soldier, being a stupid, big chin, weird nosed dumb butt. But and then he got stuck in that. He got smacked, man. He got swatted. He got swatted by a super soldier like a fly.
That's all that's happened to him this entire show.
He had his moments.
Tried stuff and had his ass beaten every time.
They did lose the fight on the trucks.
He didn't win a fight until he took the serum.
Oh yeah, John Walker sucks. But Battlestar was a cool character, and he got on those trucks with everybody else like he belonged up there, and he was doing his part. Tragic death, but also like I don't know. It was one of those things like it'd be cool to see this guy do something, but I know that I don't know anything about the John Walker storyline of the comics, but I don't feel like he's a hero at the end of this, and I don't know if Battlestar has the tread to wind up leaving John Walker and becoming another part of the MC. It seemed like he had to die if you were like really thinking about it, but yeah. His death was kind of a cool moment.
I mean, there was the whole thing up through episode 4 up till Battlestar died was, my thought was, what are they doing with John Walker anyways? Like this show has been like, has made everybody ambiguous for like most of it, where it's like, what's the deal with the Flag Smashers? What's the deal with John Walker? Where are we going? Like, yeah, he kind of seems like a dick, but he also seems like he's trying to do what he thinks is right, you know? So I wasn't sure like what direction they were going.
Yeah.
Until Battlestar died, and then it's like, okay, so now he's going to, you know, become a bad guy, essentially. He's going to go for revenge and everything. But then beyond that, I was like, but where does this go from here? Because I really expected that the government was going to be, like, standing up for him. I didn't expect them to actually be like, oh, no, you're bad. Go away, you know? Did not expect that at all.
Him killing that kid was a shocking moment. Him starting to lie about it, about killing the right person, that's pretty telling. But you're right. They've been, how many times has that little Carly kid been like, now is the time to do something, and then like, is every time the time to do something? Was this GCR summit? They've talked about it once. That's supposed to be a big plot point we care about. I know why they're fighting. I know the refugee thing is the thing, but. Yeah, I don't know what Sam's finishing plan is either, if he's supposed to be trying to flip Carly. I know he's basically trying to have empathetic Captain America looking moments where he's above the government's ambitions and above the rebels' ambitions and trying to be the moral compass of the show, but I don't know what the hell his end game is either. Making everybody go home? Does Carly not go to jail?
Yeah.
Like, what's your plan? Somebody say something. Like,
Yeah,
I don't.
It's so weird. The show, it just feels like.
What does anybody want?
Exactly. It doesn't feel like it's fully like cohesive. It feels like, I don't know. It's weird. There was this theory, kind of sort of situation based off of news articles from back when this started filming initially, and there's, circumstantial proof to if you watch the show and pay attention, that there was a completely different storyline to this show initially, having to do with a virus that they ended up cutting out because of, the world.
Right.
Because there was initially they were talking about this virus that was in the comics that they were talking about doing for this show. In the first episode, the Flag Smashers are stealing vaccines. They have an actress, the lady who died. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You did get quiet for a second,
Okay.
but I'm here.
Yeah, I got a call. Anyways, the lady that died, Mama Donia or whatever, that's apparently, like, she's a big actor who was supposed to have a much bigger role in this fucking thing, but they killed her with tuberculosis.
Nice.
And then there's a lot of stuff that are, like, she didn't even have a speaking line in this show.
No, I don't
And
remember her at
then-
all.
Yeah, she was just the lady in the bed at the funeral. Yeah, and then there's so much stuff that is ADR'd. Like, there's a shit ton of stuff where they cut to people saying things off screen constantly in this show. And
Now,
a lot of
today's-
vague shit.
Today's
what?
episode I mostly made while I was cooking breakfast and getting some things for the podcast. I sat down for as much as I could, but I definitely missed all the ADR shit for today. I just wasn't looking
Okay.
that close.
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, it's just, like, especially, like, a lot of what Carly says. They cut to reaction shots when she's saying things that seem like they would be important.
That's true.
So it's like, it's edited weird. It just seems like there was stuff cut out.
That's a good move for like a leadership talk. I think I've seen that other places. Just when someone's motivating other people to hold on the reactions, but it does lend credit to the idea that they had to swap the storylines for the pandemic.
Yeah. So it feels weird in those ways. And also just the fact that the story just feels weird. It's like you have all this, like, the social economic, race related things and all that, which is great stuff, but it kind of feels disconnected. It's weird. That feels disconnected. The Flag Smashers, like, I don't know what the fuck their deal is. Like, they've said what they want to happen and everything, but none of their plans are not obvious in any way, like what they're trying to do. And what are Sam and Bucky actually trying to do at this point? Like, because John Walker is, like, he's there and everything, but it doesn't feel like any of this is necessarily connected.
Yeah,
It all feels like things just happening separately.
Yeah, then Sam goes back home after seeing Isaiah Bradley again, and it's just like we have a whole nother episode that's just not an episode at the end of this episode.
Yeah, they're just like people hanging out fixing a boat.
Drinking Heinekens, which I do associate with eating seafood. Some
Sure.
kind of pale Pilsner type of thing. I would get a Grolsch, but yeah, they're not going to have... I don't think Grolsch sponsors anything.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, Heineken sucks. Yeah, I see what you mean. I've been enjoying the ride though, kind of. I don't know. I guess the first episode, maybe my taste in TV so low. I haven't been giving a shit that you're right. They've been dropping the ball on a lot of stuff. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what anybody wants. I don't know what Sam and Bucky's plan are. I really don't know what the fuck Bucky's plan is for anything. I was kind of hoping he would get the wings.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm really annoyed that they didn't show us what the fuck was in that case.
It's not the wings?
I don't know. It could be wings, like maybe new wings. I don't know. It could be a new Captain America uniform. I don't know.
Because the art on the back of it, it was ambiguous because the edges of it were also wing shaped, but it had a shaft in the middle, and that's either a person or it also kind of looked like a hammer. But it would be really weird for the government to give Sam Mjolnir.
How did they get it?
Yeah.
Nah, because Bucky, he got that from Wakanda, so I'm wondering if it's adamantium wings. Adamantium.
Yeah,
Vibranium wings. So that
That'd
they
be
won't break.
cool. Yeah, but he got it. He got it from Wakanda. You're right. I totally because I know Bucky still works with the government, so I thought they just were having him do an errand for bringing him new wings. I didn't hear that it was from Wakanda. That'd be dope.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see it. I guess the next episode's the final episode. So I'm like, what the fuck? This show feels so weird. I still like it. I like seeing these characters. I just wish that it was more focused on what it was trying to do.
Is
You
it
know?
really only 6 episodes? Because this is starting to feel like WandaVision again. Seems like
I mean, I think I liked WandaVision more. But, you know, there was time to connect with everything. And I feel like there's a lot more to WandaVision, like from the comics and shit, if we actually knew a lot about it, but you know, it's not super explained in the show. So I don't know.
there are only 6 episodes, so they only have time to stop the flag smashers at their little UN meeting and maybe kill Carly and Captain America. I'm sorry, John Walker.
Yeah.
You think they'll kill John Walker?
I don't know.
They seem a little anti-kill.
I think that they would. I mean, the thing is, the MCU murders their villains constantly. It seems like a dumb idea because he could be useful for, you know, the Dark Avengers or the Thunderbolts, you know, stuff like that. The evil Avenger teams, he could be evil Captain America. Kind of makes sense. General Ross is Red Hulk in the comics, so that's a thing. You know, they have people floating around. Abomination is still alive. So they could do like the Dark Avengers or the Thunderbolts and stuff, and it would be dumb to fucking kill evil Captain America.
Are they counting the old Hulk movies as canon?
Yeah.
Man,
The one with
okay, I
Ed
take
Norton?
it back. Captain Marvel is not the worst Avengers movie then. We're going to go ahead and give that to Ed Norton.
That Hulk movie is definitely the worst one.
Stupid Norton.
Yep. That guy.
Well,
But,
I wish there were 2 more episodes, because like 1 more episode is just, I don't feel like I'm going to be satisfied when it's done.
Yeah, I think that they're doing another season of this one, though. So
I'll watch
this one
it.
might actually continue. But yeah, I would like to know what happened behind the scenes with this whole thing, and if shit actually did get cut out. It seems like it's true, but
I'd watch a 2nd season of WandaVision too. The money's there for it. People will watch that. I don't know what they would do.
yeah. I think they would have to follow up after Doctor Strange 2, probably.
Which I'm fine with. If we have a season of TV shows and a season of movies, that's cool. Which I think is the
Yeah.
plan. To have us always tune into Marvel.
I mean, yeah, Disney somehow just made the most expensive TV show in the world comprised of movies.
Yeah, there's not that much that looks hella cheap in this show. There's some fight scenes
Yeah.
that look kind of expensive. The fight scenes are getting less expensive. There's less, moving trucks, flying in the air, I mean, how hard is it to shoot a fight scene in a shipping container yard? That's not that expensive.
Yeah, but I feel like that was probably the worst one.
They fought John Walker in a warehouse, just a warehouse.
Yeah, but I thought that fight was actually put together pretty well.
Yeah, it
And
looked good.
it was shot well. It wasn't like cut all to shit and a bunch of awful close-up shots that are cutting everything off. You could actually they did a couple wide shots so you could actually see some shit happening. So that was nice.
I knew where everyone was. It made it easy to keep track of the shield. They did a good job with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, it was really the last episode was the point where it's like, okay, I don't have complaints about the fight scenes in this one. The only thing that there was the one thing which I knew they wouldn't show, obviously, was the damage he actually did. Because whenever somebody gets that brutal and decapitates somebody,
Yeah.
normally you see the damage in like a normal movie or show or whatever. Which obviously they can't do that in a Disney show.
Yeah, this
Because
was
that was
more.
fucking brutal.
Well, the shot I wanted to see we did get was the blood on Captain America's shield. That's a
Yeah.
comic book cover moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Everyone with their fucking
And
phones
that was
out.
Yeah.
Man, I wish it was legal to hit somebody for pulling their phone at you like that.
I mean, well, if you're being a shitty person, you're gonna get a phone on you.
I know, but
Everyone's
what if
got a camera in
somebody?
their pocket.
What if the person holding the phone is the shitty person, and they're
Well,
instigating?
Then you pull out your phone and do the same. You fight fire with fire.
Sucks. This is a red state.
You just gotta. Oh, that's true. You fight phones with guns.
Yes, exactly. How to clock that fool.
Forgot we're in
Fucking phone
America.
away. Yeah. I have one of those sniper scope moments where I shoot him in the camera lens and his eye explodes.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's exactly how it should be. I mean, in that situation, if Captain America busts out of a building and is just beating someone to death in the street and possibly decapitating him, yeah, you film that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, well,
Gotta
maybe
film
not
the police.
100%. It's like I need to film it because it's the right thing to do, but also Captain America just murdered somebody. What am I gonna do if he decides to turn his sights on me, the person with the phone? I'm gonna
Yeah,
die.
that's scary. I think about that sometimes because I'm totally team film the police, but then people who do film the police have been accosted quite a bit.
Yeah.
How far away do you really do that? Because, yeah, it gets hairy. Because sometimes they'll say that if I had a real camera out and I was far enough away to film it safely, they would still be like, "That's a gun," and open fire on me.
Yeah. I thought it was a gun. He was eating a burrito, you fucking moron.
I saw one of those stories pop up. There was a real estate agent had hired. They had talked to the wife and knew that they were supposed to have a home showing, and that the real estate agent was sending a home shower, and they were bringing a camera crew to take good photos of the showing and do like marketing and stuff for the home. The wife didn't tell the husband, who was a retired firefighter, not even a real cop, but she saw all these. This happened in a suburb outside of Atlanta, and she saw all these black people coming into her house on her Ring doorbell, and so she called the real estate agent, had them cancel the shoot, told all those people to leave, and they were packing up when the husband came home, and he ripped this dude's camera out of his hand, said it was a gun, pointed a gun at him, started a whole fucking thing. Just
I'm surprised he
messiness.
didn't pull out a hose.
Yeah, that'd have been more appropriate.
Yeah. Firefighter's weapon.
You gotta be careful being an asshole with the camera, even if you're wearing a shirt with the company that was hired to come to your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Filming
People
the police can wind up getting you into some undue trouble, but you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Well, that would be cool if because that Captain America has a pistol. He might just start unloading on the crowd.
Yeah, that's fair. I really thought that they were going to lean more into that kind of situation with the cops and everything, because obviously we saw that stuff earlier when they were profiling Sam, and that's one of the reasons why I really thought that Captain America the government was going to be okay with him murdering that terrorist. It seems like they would have gone in that direction.
That was an interesting moment.
Because it's just like the fucking police do. Almost every time they fucking protect the police, even if it's like obvious that they're in the wrong.
Yeah, but the police do that on our soil. That other kid was a foreign national, and Captain America was working outside of his jurisdiction allegedly. So I was like, I don't know, because I would also imagine, because we definitely there's no way in hell that a terrorist organization could have super soldiers that just murdered somebody or were complicit in a murder during combat with American soldiers, and then one of them died. Captain America killed a terrorist, killed a super-powered terrorist that has been killing people. That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why I'm at like a complete fucking loss of what they're doing with him at this point. I know he's feeling bad about lying to Battlestar's parents about, oh yeah, I killed the right guy, so obviously he's gonna go try and kill Carly now, to right that lie essentially. But like, and who the fuck was that girl, that lady that talked to him at the place? Who gave him a blank business card?
That was Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
No, I know that.
She was in Seinfeld.
Pretty sure
Veep.
that's right. Yeah, she's an actress. I'm talking about the character.
I was cooking
I don't know
during
what the fuck
that
they're doing
scene.
with that.
I was cooking during that scene, so I missed her whole walk up and the whole thing, and then I peek over through the window and I'm like, oh shit, it's Dreyfus. I love her so much. And then she was gone before I was done. I was in the eggs were firming up, so I had to pay attention to the eggs.
Yeah. Well, she showed up and she was like, hey, when I call you, answer your phone. Like, that was basically the gist of it.
Maybe she is a Dark Avengers contact or someone from Madripoor.
Yeah. We still don't know who the fucking power broker is either. I think it's probably Sharon Carter.
Yeah, I've heard that. And Sharon Carter hasn't been that present, and why use her if we're not going to use her? Does she go away?
She's been like weirdly shady.
Yeah, I would imagine she is.
Yeah.
Because it's probably not Zemo. I would imagine if it was going to be someone, it'd be one of those two. I don't think we're getting X-Men anymore. It would just be...
Hats on hats.
Yeah, because we had the X on the fence, which nobody else picked up. So I guess it was probably... Maybe that's a normal sign in that region. That's their do not enter sign. But I looked up various X-Men logos, and that pattern and color is not unusual for different variations of X-Men.
Yeah, it straight up looks like an X-Men logo.
Yeah, nobody...
I never thought that was legit, but...
There were no articles
I did
about
notice
it or
it and
anything.
think that. I did notice that and think that, though.
The X-Men are always supposed to be in hiding. Like, they're known. Like, the first X-Men movie that came out, the Fox X-Men, they were known to the government and to the public, and they were already kind of in the scare mode. But, yeah, there's the Xavier School is supposed to be a secret, and if they're in Madripoor doing secret X-Men shit, they're supposed to be hidden. They would have the resources to have a blocked-off villa or whatever.
Sure.
They could do Charles Xavier in Madripoor instead of upstate New York.
They could. That'd be really weird, though.
Yeah, it would be kind of like, what's the point of doing this right now if we find out the power broker's Magneto or one of the Evil Brotherhood type of things?
Yeah.
So it's probably Sharon Carter.
Yeah, I definitely thought that we were going to get at least a couple more episodes because it just feels like... It's just weird. I don't know. There are questions to be answered. I don't know. Who knows? Shit will happen. 3 weeks from now, we'll be talking about the final episode.
Yeah, maybe Carly kills John Walker. That'd be a real deviation.
Yeah.
Because Carly's actually I don't think Flag Smashers are, but someone like this is in the comic books, right? I think I heard that on Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Flag Smasher is a character who is one of the many just like evil versions of Captain America, essentially. But he is like doesn't believe in borders and shit. Doesn't believe they should be a thing, but is violent about it. And he has like a following of people who work for him and shit. But so it's different, but it's kind of the same idea. It's just modernized.
Yeah, I very much believe this origin for that, because the refugee displacement and all that stuff, that all makes sense. That would happen in the real world if we had super serums running around and everybody, half the planet came back all of a sudden, it was permanently displaced. There would be armed rebels and shit.
Oh, yeah. That all makes perfect sense. I don't want her to be the one to kill John Walker, though. I honestly, I just don't want him to die. And it's not even like so it can be future things. I don't feel like him dying at this point would be what's the word? Satisfying? Yeah.
No, it could be a
I don't
waste.
think his death would be satisfying. It would just feel like, well, that was pointless. Because like the person who I would want to kill him the most would be Bucky, and his reasoning isn't good enough for it. Like, it still wouldn't be satisfying.
No, I think he's done killing right now. They would have to really do some... They would have to burn some rubber to make it seem like very satisfying for Bucky to kill him. Because it seems like Sam's going to keep the shield.
Feels like he would, though. Yeah. Yep, I believe Sam is going to take up... See, I'm assuming that the thing that's in the case will be a suit. It'll be a Captain America suit that doesn't have like the red, white, and blue and all that stuff, because they made a big deal about how that flag doesn't mean the same thing to everybody.
Which is bold to do.
Episode.
I mean, it's time to do that. But like, man, you do that 30 years ago, there'd be some patriots that'd be upset about that.
Do a lot of things 30 years ago. Like, it's I'll talk about some stuff from many years ago when we get to what we're listening to.
Okay.
That kind of backs that up. I don't know. I'm assuming it's just going to be a suit that works better for a Captain America who is disillusioned by the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, hopefully has
which
some
I find
upgrades.
perfectly understandable. Yeah, and made in Wakanda. Boom.
Yeah, Suri.
That should be
Suri
pretty
would have
dope.
made it. If it's a power suit, setting up Suri as the next Iron Man.
Yeah,
She's
and or
making
next
power
Black
suits?
Panther.
Yeah.
In the comics, she is the next Black Panther, but
Maybe they'll go with that. I've seen the petition going around to recast Black Panther so they don't put the role away. Which Coogler and Feige have both said they're probably going to put the role away.
yeah, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you do that? What else do you do? It would feel so awkward. Recasting just feels like out of the question. And then it would be weird to be like, oh yeah, T'Challa died off screen.
Yeah,
that would feel bad.
The whole thing is really messy now that we have a dead Black Panther because they have to deal with his death off screen no matter what.
Yeah.
But it is an important mantle for superheroes and for black superheroes that it be a character that you can always have a black actor take up and then have, a black superhero. That's important to people.
Yeah,
so I
definitely.
see why some people want it to stay around.
Yeah, I get that. But I feel like, Sam is picking that up as well, though.
That's true.
He's definitely not as cool as Black Panther, but
No. I'm looking forward to seeing Sam be Captain America.
yeah, I'm really interested to see what they do.
I think they had a cool walk up to it. I think he found himself. That's probably the only thing that they really did with it was burn some pages, letting us see Sam Wilson develop into Captain America, and Bucky Barnes finally got to overcome his Winter Soldier stigma a bit, and we got to see that happen. And that's all worth doing the series.
Yeah, I think they're doing the thing with Sam really well, and it's nice to see him actually get like more serious. Like I never see Anthony Mackie serious like at all in anything ever. Like in the Marvel stuff, he's been a quippy guy most of the time, and in basically anything else I've seen him in, he's been a jokey dude. But this is like kind of the first time we're seeing him be solid or solemn and shit,
Yeah, and he's running around and he's doing push-ups in his montage. That's serious superhero shit.
Yeah, during that part I was like, this feels like rushed, but I guess they're doing something.
Is he getting stronger today?
In this one day?
Did he just start doing cardio? Passing.
And the shield, you actually see him get good with the shield. It's like, dude, like this is the same afternoon. Like, what time is passing here?
Like, I know that they had to have a montage where he gets good. It was cool. All the stuff that they did with the whole, I mean, that was all like easy fodder. It's just like, how do superheroes have the whole dad and son under the car moment? Superheroes fixing a boat and having a beer, and then like, okay, but what's their like, let's teach each other while we play catch moment? And they're tossing it off the trees, and it's just like, oh, I play baseball with Dad. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have anything else to put in the montage with him with the shield, so yeah, just, okay, he's doing the shield thing. We have all that. What else? I guess he runs and does push-ups.
Yeah, on your left.
Because I said that as soon as he started running.
Me too.
On your left. It's like, did Bucky come back already? Because he's definitely going to get stronger with just body weight exercises, despite the fact that he's already a jacked Avenger. Push-ups are definitely the things he does to get stronger.
Yeah, and also most of his fighting shit is rocket propelled, so more personal strength doesn't matter that much.
He's got to have serious muscle mass to protect his bones during those types of impacts.
That's fair.
Because a super soldier threw another super soldier at him, and he met the super soldier in the air with a rocket boost and caught him in the back with his arm. And we're not sure how vibranium really works because plot armor on the shield.
Yeah.
If it works how it's described, it shouldn't be able to hurt anybody since no vibration can travel through it. But that should have broke his arm.
I guess it's yeah. But the whole thing with Bucky, I don't feel like Bucky's shit doesn't feel all that, once again, satisfying to me because we haven't hardly done anything with him. He's just been kind of brooding alongside Sam for most of it, and being like, "Why'd you give away the shield?"
I think we'll get an Iron Man style at the podium press conference moment after they save the UN, but Sam comes out and he says, "I am Captain America," and Bucky Barnes says, "I am White Wolf," and everybody's like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, you weren't there for a lot of the stuff in Wakanda. I'm White Wolf. What's White Wolf about? Do you have wolf powers?" Like, no.
It's because I'm white, and I was in Wakanda.
Shouldn't you be wolf armed?
I don't know why I wolf.
No.
Yeah, I feel like the way that the first episode was, where we actually saw Bucky doing shit, like actually trying to make amends and everything, and hanging out with the Japanese dude. I assume that we're gonna see that in the final episode. He's gonna go tell the dude like, I killed your son, to give him closure or whatever. But it feels like he hasn't so much grown at all. He hasn't really had an arc. Feels like they tried to force an
Did you
arc
take
in
a
this
long pause or
episode
did
a
you
little
just
bit,
connect?
where he was just suddenly like, "Yeah, I'm around and I'm smiling now." I don't know. Are you there? You're not even there. Sad.
I don't know if I left or you left, but you cut off at "it feels like."
Are you there? Hello. Pla. Hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. What the fuck is that? Are you there?
Hey, you're back. There you go. Yeah, you cut off after "it feels like."
At what point? Did
You
I
just said
already
"it
say
feels
that
like."
he's? Did I already say that he's probably gonna see the Japanese guy in the next episode?
Yeah.
Okay. It just feels like he's not. His arc hasn't been super great. It feels like they tried to force an arc with this last episode. By just having him be like around and smiling now.
Yeah, when Sam said you have to be of
Nothing has
service.
happened.
Yeah, when he said you have to be of service to the people you hurt, and I was like, oh, he's got to go back to the Japanese guy. But then I was like, that was 4 episodes ago. Who still
Yeah.
cares?
Well, I feel like that's important, just because
is.
like they set that up, but I feel like there should be more to that, because it just feels like a weird. Like, Bucky hasn't really done anything. Like, his arc has not been sufficient.
No.
Feels like they tried to wrap it up in this episode.
We've
And
learned things about what he's done off camera, but it hasn't set up goals for him too much. I don't know what he wants.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he wants to make amends with the people he's hurt, but that's pretty vague. I think that's why they set up that one guy.
Because he doesn't have anyone. I mean, Steve Rogers is in retirement / dead. Not dead. Considered gone.
I don't even know. They're acting like he's dead.
Yeah, I think they're doing that so that people act like the cameo is going to be a surprise, but I feel like we might see Steve Rogers.
I would be surprised if we did.
I mean, he's not dead.
Yeah, he's not. But I feel like they're trying to... By bringing him in, it kind of undermines what they're trying to do with Sam. Because they already reference him enough. They already say, like, he was the best, blah, blah, blah. And, Sam's feeling inferior. And John Walker did a terrible job. It's like... It would be interesting to see what Steve thinks about the whole John Walker situation. But at the same time, it feels like it undermines everything.
The only thing I would like to see Steve Rogers do, and there's no tread leading up to it, and there's no anything that I thought Steve Rogers might come back and do or say has kind of been burnt up. I don't see a place for him, but him learning about Isaiah Bradley would be interesting.
Yeah. Like, there's some interesting stuff that they could do, but, like, I don't expect it.
I think we'll see Isaiah Bradley in one of these 6-episode series in the future.
Yeah. I feel like they are setting up something like they could even do, a movie or whatever.
Yeah,
they could do, in the past or whatever, building off of that. The stuff he did,
Getting tortured and shit. He didn't go on he went on some missions. Yeah, he fought Winter Soldier once.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you could get Bucky in there as a villain. That'd be cool. Like Captain America Winter Soldier, except he's actually a villain. And not all of Hydra. I don't know. Yeah, the only thing that I expected to see of Steve Rogers was his funeral, actually. And I expected that would be in, like, the first episode.
Yeah,
because I figured that they would want to kill him off.
Yeah, how long is it going to take for him to die?
Yeah. Because it feels like if he was around, that they would probably have gone and spoken to him already. I mean, they fucking went to Zemo, and then Isaiah Bradley as well. Like, I feel like they probably would have gone to Steve first before either of those two. But, you know,
Isaiah's still alive, and he had an unfinished serum or an experimental serum. So, feasibly, if they're gonna have a similar length of life, Cap could live a while longer. Isaiah doesn't seem sickly.
yeah.
Captain America's not immortal. I just don't know how long he's normally supposed to live in the comic books. Has he ever
think
died
he's
a
a
natural
fairly-
death?
I mean, I don't know, probably. Captain America's been around for 100 years. The only death I can think of is when he gets fucking shot by crossbones. He gets fucking sniped in front of a
Lame.
courthouse. Yep. I'm pretty sure that he has, like, it's just similar to, like, normal humans. The only reason he was around was because he was frozen. But then Bucky's, like, still really young.
Yeah, why doesn't he
So I
look
don't
like
know.
Isaiah Bradley?
It's a good question. He had a weird, fucked up version of the serum made by Hydra, though. So,
Clearly a better serum.
apparently. I don't remember Captain America: The First Avenger very well. I'll watch it and then I'll forget it immediately. So I don't remember what the whole deal it was with him actually getting the powers.
He was a sickly little kid with a heart of gold.
No, I remember that bit. I mean with Bucky.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember any of that.
He mostly did it off screen, but there was something with him, like Steve rescued him from that, but apparently it had already happened. I don't know. I don't remember. And then he fell off a train, but didn't die because he already had the powers, I guess. Or something.
Whatever. There's one episode left. Looking forward to it. And then
Yeah.
Loki comes out in May,
Yeah. Yep.
which is a character I'm less interested in, but I'll watch it.
I think that'll be the show that they can get the weirdest with because it is a time travel thing and they're introducing the fucking time police or whatever. So I expect that one to be funnier and weirder than these other two for sure. Definitely funnier than Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it's a kind of a grim show. But as grim as Marvel can really get, I guess. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't have much more to say about Marvel. I'm looking forward to it, whatever the next thing is. I'll keep watching.
Yeah.
I'll do my job.
Me too. Anyways, that's all I watched.
Cool. I didn't listen to much. What did you listen to?
Not much.
Shit.
Yeah, it's been
no,
pretty uneventful.
after the whole Dead to Me binge and some of their adjacent projects, YouTube kept recommending me other bands of not too similar veins, bands like The Queers and Swinging Utters and things like that. And then I read some article that was talking about modern pop punk bands that are reviving first wave punk, and I listened to some of those, but I don't remember much of them enough to have an opinion on.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah, I remember listening to some of the Anti-Queens, but I remember liking them more than the other things I had pulled off the list, like the Bomb Pops were too poppy. I guess I didn't listen to anything. Shit.
Music-wise, I went back and listened to the Bring Me the Horizon album that I listened to a couple times and didn't like. And actually found that, there's a few songs on that album that actually turn out to be fucking amazing, I guess. So that's fun. Off of Ammo, their record from 2019, something like that. The one that was just a little too in the pop / almost hip-hoppy genre. Just super weird, pretty interesting stuff. So there's that. The Human Abstract, I went back and listened to their shit. Haven't heard them in quite some time. Love them. Very genty, amazing, fucking virtuosic guitars and drums with just insane time signatures. Good.
You've talked about them.
Shit.
Not here.
Yeah, many years ago, I'm sure I did. I haven't listened to them in quite some time.
I have some one-off search results in my YouTube things that I looked for. I do remember listening to the AI-generated Nirvana song, "Drowning in the Sun."
That sounds like a Nirvana song.
It did, and the AI representation sounded like it. Now, I understand that it might have been pulled from YouTube, because while the instrumental and the lyrics were all AI-generated, I heard a rumor that a popular Nirvana cover band actually supplied the vocals for the version I heard, so it might be hard to find. But it was actually a pretty good Nirvana song.
Huh.
Recommend
That's really
it.
Interesting.
I'd listen
Got
to it.
new
I'd listen to
Weezer
an album.
coming out. We got new Nirvana coming out. They're all knockoffs.
Hell yeah. Drowning in the Sun. Recommend it if you can find it.
The Wish version of them.
Exactly.
That's cool. I will type that in right now and see if I can find it. Artificial intelligence creates new Nirvana music, Drown in the Sun.
Are you about to do a live listen?
Yeah. Is that it?
I can't hear it.
Okay. You'll hear it in the podcast.
Okay.
Comments are turned off. Lost tapes of the 27 Club.
That's it. That's them.
That's interesting. All right. Cool.
And I interrupted you?
Do what?
I interrupted you?
Oh.
What else did you listen to?
Books. All right. So on Audible, whenever you're subscribed and everything, they have certain books and stuff that are free. Just like, here you go, it's an original, you can, whatever the fuck, it's free. So I saw one that looked interesting, and it's called Dead Jack and the Pandemonium Device. And it's a series with a really interesting premise. It's a noir story, but it's about, like, the detective is a fucking zombie, and it's in this world called Pandemonium that's kind of like hell. And there's, like, different monsters and creatures and just different shit like that. And apparently he used to be, like, he was in the fucking World War II or whatever, and there's some Nazi scientists that opened a portal to Pandemonium and all this shit. Really interesting premise. The problem is, while it is a very adult story talking about sex and swearing and shit, it's written like a fucking children's book, and I hate it.
Does it have pictures?
Man, I mean, it's an audiobook, so probably not.
Oh.
I don't know. I can look at the waveforms. Maybe there's something there.
They did that for Doom. The guy who did the Doom score went and did highlights in the waveform and put 666 and pentagrams in the waveform.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if it was Matt Pat that talked about that or This Exists talked about that. One of those people. I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, it's written really fucking poorly, and it makes me sad because I love the premise. It's got some really interesting characters and stuff, and it took a minute to really get into it because it was just kind of like felt really random until they got to the point where it's like, yeah, this is an alternate dimension opened by Nazi scientists, and there's a history here, and you know. But bad writing, very sad. Maybe one day it'll be a movie or a show or something, and it'll be okay to watch. Probably not going to continue the series, though.
It'll be on Amazon.
Yeah. But the writing is just like, it's so bad. The other one, on the other hand, is Jaws. I started listening to Jaws, which is written exceptionally well. Like, some of the best writing I've heard. Like, excellent. Um, the big thing is, going back to what we were saying when we were talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, this is the thing that I was referring to about, multiple years ago, just being different times and kind of a lot of unnecessary shit in this book, racially and sexually. Like, just refers to gay people as the F word, like, completely, just the whole way through, like, the narrator does. It's like, bro. Like,
And that was read by Neil Patrick Harris?
What a different experience that would be. But no, it's... And then talks specifically about how a black man raped a bunch of white women. It's like, this is completely unnecessary to this story. It set up some reasoning as to why to hide the fact that there was a shark attack or something, so that the newspaper wouldn't go in depth about the fucking black guy that raped white women. Like, specifically says it in those kinds of terms. Like, very, like, it's this.
Wait, so are they trying to hide the shark attack or the rapes?
They're trying to hide the shark attack, but they're trying to hide the shark attack for so many different reasons. And this is one that is given by the mayor, having to do with, like, we don't want them to look into all this other stuff that is potentially happening, and there's a dude trying to blame it all on drugs and shit. Like, obviously the girl was drunk, and obviously this black guy is on all kinds of drugs because he's black. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
Nice.
Yeah,
Exceptionally written.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. It's got an excellent prose, and it goes into, and then it's also problematic in the way that it talks about sharks, because there's just a lot of shit that isn't true that's being spoken by supposed experts in the book.
Yeah, shark babies are born addicted to crack, that type of thing.
Of course. Awful stereotypes of the times, because this was written in like 69, 70, something like that. And so that shit's really annoying. But overall, it's a very enticing book, other than everything that I just spoke about. I haven't finished it. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of different about it and everything than the movie, but... And it's like, there's like chapters or like scenes and stuff written from the shark's point of view, which is interesting. Not in a way that, like, it's in a third person perspective, but like it's talking about like, this is what the shark is doing and this is what it's feeling, kind of sort of. It doesn't have like human-esque feelings, but like,
there's no
these
internal
vibrations.
There's no internal monologue for the shark.
Do what?
There's no internal monologue for the shark.
No. It's more just like it felt this impulse or whatever because of like these certain vibrations and, just kind of like the stalking of the prey, like something moves and it's just kind of like, and just kind of all that shit, but it's written really well.
Sharks never sleep. Did you know that?
Yeah. They talk about that in the book.
They just hunt until they die.
Pretty much. But and then it's got like the death scenes are fucking brutal. Like brutally explained. Like this woman just being torn to shreds. And the shark just kind of like, it talks about how, does the bites and the shaking, and the lady reaches down. She felt like the pain or whatever, and she reaches down and realizes that she's feeling her own bone and that her leg is gone. And it's like, whoa. This is nuts. Yeah. And then she gets real cold and goes into shock and then is eaten basically up to, the collarbone-esque area, and then washes up ashore, and all that fun shit. It's brutal.
I see why Steven Spielberg was so into it.
Yeah, and cut out all the problematic stuff, even back in the 70s.
Even back then, he was like, we can get rid of this whole racist part.
Yeah, we can get rid of this completely unneeded racist part that doesn't need to exist at all. And condense these multiple characters into one really shitty person that is almost mustache-twirlingly villainous in the mayor in the movie, but actually turned out to just be absolutely realistic if we know anything from the past couple years.
Yeah, politics be politics. And if you're condensing a book for screen, I think like the first thing that you get rid of is definitely the unnecessary racism.
Yeah. That was just, it was so just completely pointless. Like, what the fuck are you, why is this here? Completely unnecessary.
Racists are gonna racist.
Unless it somehow comes back in the rest of the book in a meaningful way that makes any sense at all and isn't just a villainous, insanely racist caricature of something that's completely unneeded.
There was
I don't
no
think
shark.
it will, though.
It was a black guy in a suit the whole time.
That's so fucked. Yeah. I also got a bunch of other books that they just had for free on there that I'm gonna check out that are fairly short. 1984 is on there, so I'm gonna listen to that really intently and see if all the see if the Republicans are using this correctly.
It's not just them, but also no. In some ways, there's some things that are depending. I mean, well, shit. I actually haven't read the book either. I know a lot. I hear a lot of the premises and arguments for why, and some of them do make sense. The whole thought police thing, not really true. We're not really in that area yet.
Yeah, I just know that whenever people use Orwellian as a fucking adjective that I don't feel like fits most situations.
It's the new Kafka-esque. Great joke from Mission Hill.
Oh. Okay.
That's so Kafka-esque.
But, so I'll read that and figure out, or listen to that, I should say. And just see what the deal is with that. Also got, Animal Farm was on there, and so that's one that's really short that I'll listen to and see what the deal is.
I've read that.
Unless I listen to one and decide, ew, fuck this. But so far, I'm not disappointed by these free classics that they got sitting around.
I would go check them out, but free also probably means I have to buy Audible.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I'll probably buy Adobe before I buy Audible, unless I just really get meshed into the Davinci workflow, which I'm already not looking forward to it. Why do it doesn't seem like we need a media tab and an edit tab. If I can just drop my shit in the edit tab, what's the media folder for?
That was such a weird experience figuring that out. I couldn't figure out how to start and had to look that shit up. It's oh, this tab is fucking nothing, and the tabs are on the bottom of the screen for some reason. Okay.
Working with Mia, because Mia's gone through a bunch of different highly optimized timelines. Mia knows how to use Premiere in ways that I wouldn't think of using them. But she does have a separate timeline for, I organize all my footage on the timeline, and then I have my cut at the beginning and then resources at the end. But she'll do, when she's ingesting footage, she'll have a different timeline for all of her golden takes, and she'll trim them up before she brings them into the main timeline, and then she'll be pulling what she knows she needs from one timeline into her actual editing timeline. And that seems like a good use of the media tab, but also I have to tab over to a completely different screen to do that. It's not the same as Mia has her Premiere workflow so cracked out that, I don't even know how to set it up how she sets it up, but I can walk into one of Mia's projects and be like, oh, okay, I know what I need to do today. It's all up here in this timeline. And that's all organized smartly and sequenced and things. Yeah, she really knows what's up. Sure, her game is tight. I would like to, she's hard to get a hold of a lot of the time, but next time I get to work with her, I'm going to take some notes on how she's breaking out subsequences and doing things like that.
Nice.
She on another level than me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think everybody's editing. How they edit is different. I know that my the way that I do shit has changed a lot too. Rearranged a lot of things. I have 2 monitors now. One is just for viewing, and the other one is just for the timeline. Beautiful. So useful because whenever I'm building layers of like 20 fucking tracks on a on the fucking timeline, it's real hard to see the fucking video if it's a teeny tiny little rectangle.
Yeah, I've seen Ryan Connolly was taking his film rights stuff out, taking one of his short films out to a professional editor, and they had a vertical monitor for media and resources. They had a little monitor that was just the timeline. They had a monitor for playback, and I can't remember what the other vertical monitor was. No, I think he just had three monitors. Yeah, because I don't need my playback window to be that big, but I do like having an oversized looking timeline.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't like editing on.
Useful.
4K screens are really great for multitasking type of productivity. Dog, you're too far. Dog.
Sneaking away.
I can't whistle right now. My lips are too dry. Arthur, come
I've
on.
noticed that my whistling has gone really bad. I used to be able to whistle so well. And then one of my front teeth decided it wanted to start leaning a little bit, and now I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I would prefer to have my timeline on a 1080p screen, frankly, just because that's bigger and easier to look at, but also more space just for the timeline is nice.
Yeah,
I might.
I've resized all the tracks to make them like wider and everything, so it's easier to deal with.
Yeah, so if I'm moving forward with this Davinci Reaper workflow instead of Adobe Premiere, Adobe Audition workflow, the playback window in Reaper always comes back because you could drop a video in there and have playback of the video, which is great for doing Foley and things like that and sound editing. It does the video does automatically pop up in its own window, and doing that all on one 1080p screen is just sloppiness. So I might get an extra. I know there's an extra TV lying around that's supposed to belong to somebody else, but I might boost it just for that if I wind up doing that type of work.
Hell yeah. I mean, there are some like really cheap monitors out there too. Like the one that I bought was $70.
Is it 4K or 1080?
I think it's 4K actually. It's just a cheap brand, Scepter. It's not like super fancy or anything, but it works very well. So
I always get so
does
weird
what I
about
need it
it.
to do.
That's probably all I'll get is the cheapest 4K monitor I can find. I'll even do a 1080. I get weird about it because I've learned so much about like how the monitor and the color spectrum and the color grading things will affect the work that I will wind up doing and calibration and all that. And I'm just like, I could get really expensive with this really fast, or I could just trust my scopes and my meters and things and just try to wing it.
You do like color grading and shit. Like that's obviously that's really important for. You should have a good monitor and shit.
Yeah. Now, if I were to get one of the
my main monitor is a 720p TV from 2013. Like, it's what I use.
My 720p TV is still at my apartment. It's a piece of crap. I'm probably just gonna let it die. But I have the tiny 1080p TV that my parents got as a casino gift that I'm using right now. I bought an HDMI splitter so I could have my computer, my Switch, and my PlayStation all on one HDMI, and I just click the button and they switch over. It was like $15.
Damn, that's nice.
Yeah, they make them with remotes too, so you don't have to click the button. But I was like, I'm gonna be real close to this thing anyway. I don't need that HDMI splitter.
I wonder if that would work with my capture card.
I've been thinking about that stuff too because they make HDMI to USB capture cards that are like $25, and I know that they work on the Rebel. so you don't have to like capture a preview window. And I was thinking about getting one of those and a splitter, so I can like record Smash Brothers gameplay and just do voiceover on my own mic. But the
Hell yeah.
splitter, the splitter has 3 inputs, 1 output, and if you wanted to, or sorry, the switcher has 3 inputs, 1 output, and if you wanted to have your game run to one device to the other, you would just get a splitter, which just has 1 input, 2 outputs, or variations of that.
Yeah, because I have the Elgato HD60 Pro, which is in my computer. And then it has 2 jacks, like the in and the out, for the HDMI. And then you plug one into the system and then one into the TV or whatever.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it would be possible to hook both my Switch and my Wii U into that. And
Into
not
your
have
Elgato?
to, yeah,
That should work.
that would be interesting.
You would get a switcher for that, not a splitter.
Okay. What, I
They
can't do
cheat.
both at the same time?
You can get both. They just do different things.
Okay. I've never even thought about that stuff. I just expect to have to pull it out and fucking do all that shit.
It was worth $10 for me to not have to do that.
Yeah, I just never thought about it.
I knew what was coming up once Keegan got me a Switch. I was just like, I already have Chromecast in my HD. There's 2 HDMI inputs on the TV, and I was like, I've already got Chromecast in one, even though I barely use it. And I was just like, the 3-to-1 switcher's only like $10 or $15. I'll just get that.
That's nice.
It's very
I
nice.
am gonna look for those kinds of thingies on Amazon.
That's where I bought it.
Since I've just been buying shit like crazy.
It's fun.
It really is. I shouldn't be doing it though. I'm like, I'm trying to save money, but this random thing. Like, I was just on Etsy. In fact, I have a fucking thing open right now I'm looking at. It's like, ooh, these are cool.
Is it more
Hop on
coffee
Etsy,
cups?
type in Zelda. There's all kinds of shit that I want. Fucking
yeah,
like
dude.
almost everything. And now I'm looking at
Never-
these fucking dope ass metal Pokemon cards that come with fucking crypto coin things here. It's like, what the fuck?
It's Pokemon.
Why
and
is this a
crypto?
thing? Yeah, it's like they have like the 3 like Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, like the base set cards, but they're like metal plated and everything, and they come with like these fucking crypto coins of like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Dogecoin here. It's like, what the fuck? Why is this a thing?
Cryptomon.
I might get some though. It's like $10
Yeah, if you get
a piece.
If you get a Bitcoin for $10, you quit your job for a year. Bitcoin's like $60,000 a coin right now.
Damn.
When I was talking to my uncle about how I'm going to buy Dogecoin, he said buy Monero because that's what the black market is using because it's untraceable. And that's up to $230 a coin right now.
Shit's crazy.
Yeah, that would be the one if I was seriously investing and had capital. I think he's right about that. Probably Monero will have a spike coming in the future. Rather that probably won't become the world's currency. Maybe Bitcoin will become the world's currency because they were so early on the market and it's widely adopted. But as far as just predicting what's going to become more valuable for your portfolio quickly, I would be putting money in Monero. And I wish I had put money into Doge sooner because I was fucking correct.
Yeah. I had a feeling that it was going to do something just because of fucking, what's his nuts? Elon
Reddit?
Musk.
Oh, yeah. Those are my two.
Motherfucker says something and then suddenly, you know.
I figured he would be the
He's-
one to drive it, or some weird Reddit poll.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Dogecoin has been talked about for fucking years. And it's just so weird that it would just become a fucking thing out of nowhere like that. Because it's always
I'm
felt
proud
like
of
a
it.
joke.
It is a joke.
Well, not anymore.
You can't actually do anything.
Pretty
with
fucking
it.
expensive joke, I guess.
All you can do is trade it. It's not. It is that nobody accepts it as a currency. It doesn't track anything like an NFT does or any of that stuff. Ethereum does some weird things. Like there's some of these coins don't just be money; they do other things. Dogecoin doesn't do anything, and it's not really even money. I'd have to look into it more.
Yeah,
I don't
weird.
understand that shit. But I know Dogecoin will continue to go up and down periodically, and you should buy it while it's cheap and sell it when it goes up.
It's so confusing. Stock market has always been
Stocks.
confusing. Then cryptocurrency became a thing, and it's like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? And then NFTs suddenly pop up out of nowhere, and it's like, what the fuck is this nonsense? Why is this a thing? Who gives a fuck? And then
Because-
Beeple sells fucking an NFT for $69 million. What the fuck?
Fake business.
It's crazy.
All about it. Support it 100%.
It's like, whatever. I don't understand, and I never will.
And that's fine. I'll pay someone to understand one day.
Yep, that's me as well. I got that FOMO going on. So, I just won't use my own brain for it. I'll use someone else's and hope that
Exactly.
they work, right?
So did you
Yeah.
play any games?
I have actually played 0 games.
What?
Nothing. Not a
You didn't
thing.
You didn't
I've
finish beating
planned
Scott Pilgrim?
to. No. I've planned to, but then shit would come up where it's like, I am feeling super lazy right now and don't even want to play a game. I just want to kind of sit here. Because I kind of burned myself out all week because I work all week, and then Saturdays I have resorted to working all of Saturday. Working like a normal ass schedule. So, I get up at 2 a.m. Around 3, I work on the podcast. And then at 7:30, I work on editing the Nuzlocke. And then I take lunch at 11:30. And then at 12:30 to 4:30, I work on the Pixar videos. And then I get high and go to sleep. And then on Sunday, I chill the fuck out.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
I need to start introducing structure like that. It's easier working a 4-hour shift to wake up late before work and be like, I'm going to have most of my day before I start working. And I have been
Yeah.
really enjoying that. When I was, when I had that, when the parents left for their vacation and I went too hard into drinking and staying up late, I was not getting enough time before work to relax to work. And that was a problem. But I've been sober a little bit, and I'm going to stay sober till July, and it still has not helped my insomnia at all. I'd still have so much
I
trouble
mean, that'll
going to
take
bed.
time, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's made it easier to just take a bunch of Benadryl and go to sleep because I'm not mixing it with anything, but I was doing that anyway. Not if I was just going to take Benadryl and try to go to bed early, I wouldn't drink, but it's
Yeah. I mean, get
I was
some
up-
weed, get some Z-Quil. The only problem with like the pills is, it's easy to get reliant on them, and then your insomnia is even worse.
Yeah. I've had stuff to do at night is what's kind of kept me up for some of these, staying up till 7 a.m. every day. But last night was easy enough to go to sleep at midnight because I have been up till 7 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
And then getting up at noon or 1, which isn't bad. I feel like noon's a great time to get up. It gives me 6.5 hours worth of day before doing my little 4-hour shift.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Smoke a
kind of
couple.
what I do as well. That's why I get up so early. Get up at 2. Drink my BCAAs to wake up. Do yoga. Then edit shit. Then make food for work. And then go to work.
Yeah, I've been switching up between ukulele and bringing a notebook out here. The notebook right now has just been like master plan shit, what I need to get done in the next couple of months.
Hell yeah.
Products I need to make real quick. I've been uploading all my ukulele covers to TikTok too. Doing way better on TikTok.
I bet.
I
Apparently,
just did.
TikTok has like the best fucking algorithm.
It's pretty
Everybody's
good.
saying that.
I did Sonic
Like, that's
last
crazy.
time. I did Sonic on Monday. And I'm gonna do Flashman sometime this weekend. The Mega Man boss. It's so hard to find ukulele tabs, and when I find someone who's done ukulele covers, sometimes I can break down what they did. But it's not the same as watching someone play guitar. The frets are so much smaller. It's hard as shit to see what they're doing. And
Yeah.
when I find something I don't like about a ukulele tab, it's either wrong or it's just like they tried to do something needlessly complicated because they actually play the ukulele. Like they'll be playing a melody line and then they don't know what the best way to make that melody line sound good is. So they'll just play the chords or play a bar chord and move around a bit. I'm just like, that's so fucking unnecessary. And I'm not going to do that kind of switching while I'm holding a cigar and picking. That's just not going to happen. So I had to really work to get I had to go through multiple videos and resources and playing around to actually get all of the Green Hill Zone down for Sonic. Because the place I usually get my tabs from, they just didn't give me any of the fills. They didn't give me any of the ending. They just kind of gave me the right hand of the piano, and that was it. That sucked.
Huh.
And then for the Flashman theme, one dude did a cover 5 or 6 years ago on ukulele and put tabs on his Tumblr. And that wasn't...
Tumblr.
Yeah, that wasn't enough either.
That's still a thing?
I had to go to a defunct Tumblr page for some of the Sonic tabs too. The guy who I was watching and trying to figure out how he did the ending phrase, he has handwritten notes on his Tumblr because back then people used to upload their handwritten notes to shit for Patreon and stuff. So it was a nonsense process. I'm very frustrated by the system of trying to find ukulele tabs. It's really slowing shit down.
Yeah.
But anyway, I played Blue Fire on Switch, the game I was
Hell
talking
yeah.
about last time.
I
And
watched the ad for that.
what'd you
Because
think
you
of
told
it?
me that it was there. It looks like you said, it reminds me of Wind Waker a lot. Looks interesting. I'm not particularly good at platformers though. It's kind of my biggest thing. I will probably pick it up eventually though. How is it?
So it was $15 on sale, and then I had $5 worth of like the Nintendo Gold Coin credits, so I paid $10 for it. It
Nice.
started off. You don't get all of the characters' mobility in the start, so it kind of felt like it did feel a little stilt. The controls felt a little stilted at first. I was playing on the GameCube controller that Keegan gave me, and I was still impressed with the way things looked and the general dark atmosphere and the mystery of what's going on. You got to go read a bunch of items to kind of piece together some of your own story, which never really becomes clear, I don't feel like. And then you start getting immersed into this kind of... I see why they call it Dark Souls inspired, because there's just creepy monsters and NPCs that are kind of like lost people that are trying to survive in weird corners of the world. It's got a great atmosphere, but it starts to become more like Zelda when you finally get to the first kind of city-ish area, which is still a completely destroyed part of the castle. And you go into a dungeon to get some of your first real power-ups for mobility. I've beaten most of the game, and I've gotten to the point where I have a power-up that'll let me walk off of a ledge for 10 seconds, like the Pegasus boots in Ocarina of Time. And then I've got a double jump and a dash that I can do mid-air, and I've got another power-up that gives me a second dash mid-air, and I can run on the walls. So
Nice.
I can really get some leverage out of this character's mobility, which is great because the only way to get maximum hearts for the game is to do all of the platforming challenges where you go, dog, are you kidding me? You've never been allowed by the trailer. Stop fucking around, dude. You're making me mad. Come on. That's right.
Yeah,
Pick up
stop
your
fucking
feet.
around, dude.
Fat loser. Pick up your feet.
Damn.
Quit trotting and run. This dude's being a douche today. Oh, he's about to go play with the other dogs. I walk out there and throw his ball real quick. Stupid animal. Anyway, the platforming challenges inside of the area that they call the Void is really, really difficult. It's just completely floating in the air, a lot of random platforms and spikes and floating saw blades and all of the madness that you would want from a really difficult platformer. I actually had a pretty hard time beating all, I think it's like 30 of the challenges, but it was rewarding, man. It was fun. The combat's not super hard. I feel like a lot of the fights could pretty much be avoided for as far as the regular enemies on the map. The parry mechanic was kind of hard to pull off, so I almost avoided it. But I did eventually get a hold of the parry mechanic, and I started using it more. It's not as foolproof as the Dark Souls parry mechanic, because some of the enemies that just shoot lasers at you and shit, the laser doesn't really reflect when you parry, and sometimes they can shoot the laser faster than you can get to them if you did parry, so it's kind of impossible to reach them. But the enemies on the overworld do big damage, so it is severe to get overwhelmed. But you have so much mobility. Dog! Arthur! He's really pissing me off today. You know you're not supposed to fuck with the other dog, dude. Stay away from that fence. Get inside. You're such a loser.
What a loser.
Dude, he ran after the cats today, too. He's off the rails, man. I'm gonna put him up for adoption.
It's terrible twos.
The fence in this yard only has 2 walls. Like, there's the one going along the back of the property, and then there's the neighbor's fence, and then everything else is open. So it's important that he listens to me so he doesn't run in the front yard like a hooligan.
Yeah. That
Distractions.
makes sense.
The bosses in this game kind of defy the normal combat that you would have out with creatures in the overworld. There's usually them doing overpowered moves and taking up a lot of space on the stage, and you having to navigate the platforms and find ways to go fight them in the middle of the arena. So it does kind of feel like a 64 game in that way, but with way better camera controls. It feels really good to play. It's not as good as Hat in Time, but it is definitely worth $15. I have not beaten it yet. I've been kind of sitting in front of the final boss for a couple of weeks, because once the computer parts started rolling in and I quit drinking, I was just kind of like, I want to beat this, but it's not as fun if I'm not drinking half a handle of whiskey, and also I've got shit to do. And the other times I just played video games. I just played Smash Brothers with Keegan. But I'm very impressed with Blue Fire's aesthetic and feel, and even the music's not that bad. There's no anthems in it, but the atmosphere is nice, and I think it's definitely worth picking up. It's very fun.
Dope.
There needs to be more weapons. There needs to be an overpowered weapon. I do not feel rewarded by the weapons I've been given. It still feels like I'm hitting some things way too much. It doesn't feel like I've grown that much in power. I do wish that I could feel like I've become more powerful. But
well, I mean, if they're trying to say that it's partially Dark Souls, then isn't that par for the course?
Yeah, but all the weapons are just double swords that kind of looked a little different from each other. They don't really have like anything special about them. There's not like weapons that give you strategies or anything. Like if there was a weapon, if there was like a double, like 4 double swords that did the same damage, but one of the mechanics is that if you're in the air and you hit something, you bounce up a little bit, so you can stay in the air as long as you're hitting stuff, which is useful on the bosses because they're in the center of the arena and there's usually a pit under them, so you don't want to fall. So if I had a weapon that would, if I hit them, would give me an extra full jump, like put one in the chamber so I could get an extra double jump or something like that, or if there was a weapon that did poison or something like that, it'd be cool. But the weapons are boring. And I did all of the challenges, which the story told me if you beat all of the voids, you'll unlock the power of this ancient people, and it just gave me a white tunic and told me to fuck off.
Well, that's not very nice.
Yeah. I don't even think that all the tunics do anything special. I'd rather just use I paid a guy to dye my regular tunic orange. I kind of like that. The only really fun ones I've found is there's like a Technicolor robe that like but Technicolor style, like Joseph's it's a robe that looks like outer space and doesn't conform to my body well. It's a very trippy thing to have on the screen at the time. And then there's one that I get to have a pumpkin head, and that's nice. But it's kind of hard to see the pumpkin. There should be more fun options for the tunic. If there was a sequel, I'm sure that they would expand it, but I don't think it will get a sequel because they've buried it away from other people. Nobody knows about Blue Fire. When I was trying to look up something that I was lost in, there's a Reddit thread with like 10 people in it wondering where the support is for this game. Nintendo let it come out as a Switch exclusive indie game, but they also put it out the same time they did all their Mario Anniversary stuff. There was just no chance for this game to get popular. So it's going to be... It would be a really good game for me to stream because there's probably a lot of people looking through indie games that are going to pick it up. But I think this video game is doomed as a franchise and will be one of those like little gems nobody ever picks up.
Huh.
But yeah, 7 or 8 out of 10. It was a fun experience. It's no Hollow Knight, but it's like a 3D Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight wasn't no 3D. Hollow Knight's getting a sequel, which now that my computer's running again, I have Hollow Knight on Steam and I can finally beat it. But
but Hollow Knight is like hella beloved, bro.
And for good reason.
I hear about Hollow Knight all the time still. So
it's hand drawn. It's another one of those hand drawn games, but it's also a really good Metroidvania game. And I like me some Metroidvania games.
Really good looking game.
It's super cool looking. I love the art style for Hollow Knight. It's not a review about Hollow Knight, but if you were to pick one before the other, Hollow Knight before Blue Fire probably. But yeah, Blue Fire is definitely worth $15, worth $10. It's totally fun. I think I'll probably max out at 26 or 28 hours before beating it. I did a lot of walking around and resource farming. But yeah, loved it. That was the only new game I played.
Nice. I've decided that tomorrow I'm going to start my Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke. So that'll be fun.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. The only one of the Gen 2 games that I have not played. However, basically beyond Gen 1, I know fucking nothing. Actually, 7 I know, because I played that one all the way through. But beyond that, I got nothing.
There's 7 generations? I want to play the new Pokemon Snap.
8. There's 8 right now. The 9th one comes out, I think, November. Yeah.
Fuck all that. I want to play the new Pokemon Snap.
That's cool. I didn't care for the first one, so...
I loved the first one.
I just couldn't understand it. I was just like, this is it? Just take pictures of Pokemon?
Well, you gotta unlock Pokemon. You gotta do stuff as a biologist to force the Pokemon to evolve.
I mean, yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, take a better picture. That's kind of the gist of it. Take better pictures to get better Pokemon to take better pictures of. It's, I need more strategy.
Really? I think it happens every time I screen
Turns out
locks.
I like RPGs. That's kind of my my game.
I think it was me that time. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, every time I screen locks, my Discord kicks me out.
Oh.
Yeah, so just take a better picture. But that's not... I mean, if you play there's enough clues in the levels that lead you to be like, I think I can get that to evolve into a Vileplume and things like that. And you have to do it... The whole game is on rails, so you have to time everything very precisely. And so, like, hitting the Magikarp with a Pokeball to knock it under a waterfall, a little tricky to do. And then catching a picture of Mew was just fucking not going to happen on one joystick. It was so hard.
Yeah. I remember I played it at my buddy Daniel's house where I played basically everything. Because he had, like, 3 N64s and I had 0. Divorced parents gave him everything. You know how it goes. One of those rich divorced kids. It's weird.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so he had like everything. So I played all sorts of games over at his house when I was 10. But that's where I fell in love with Majora's Mask. But yeah, I played Pokemon Snap, and it was just like, I think I'd rather be playing Pokemon Stadium or one of the Game Boy games, because there's just more strategy to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather play the Game Boy games. Pokemon Stadium was fun.
Yeah. At the time, it's kind of like now, after you kind of realize how fucked up Gen 1 was, where it's like, oh yeah, like, Psychic is supposed to be weak against Ghost, but they programmed it wrong, so it's just not. And also because all the
Hold on a
ghosts in
second.
Gen 1 are also poison type.
I got a neighbor talking to me. I got my earbuds. Gotta take them out. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. No. Okay. All right, could you repeat that?
Yeah. I was just saying, like, Gen 1 is dumb. Like, because of how, like, it was programmed wrong. So, Psychic is supposed to be weak to Ghost, but in the Gen 1 games, it's not. And then even worse, all the ghosts from Gen 1 are also poison type, so they're weak to Psychic. It's
Whack.
dumb.
Is there like a solid one winning team in Gen 1?
If you can get an Alakazam, that's definitely one that would be on the team. Normally, the legendary birds, a starter of some kind, Snorlax, Lapras, those are kind of your big choices there. Machamp if you can get it. But sadly, the ghosts are just kind of garbage.
Yeah, I don't use Ghost much in Pokemon Go either.
Yeah. Most of my team in Pokemon Ultra Moon were ghosts. Alolan Marowak, Fire Ghost, Mimikyu, Fairy Ghost. My starter, Decidueye, is a Grass Ghost. Like, at least half my team was ghosts. Pretty useful.
The deciduous tree is grown in temperate climates.
Yeah. It's a Grass Ghost Owl Archer thing. Pretty cool.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It
sure
that's
is.
a Digimon.
No, it doesn't have guns or jorts. It's not a Digimon.
It's got a bow.
Yep.
Okay.
But Digimons don't have bows. They have machine guns. And
That's true.
Gatling guns.
And missiles and shit.
Yep. Big ol' weapons. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to starting Crystal tomorrow. Doing the Crystal Meth. Apparently it's one of the longest games, which is kind of terrifying. But also, I know how to speed up the emulator now. Because the problem with Pokemon Yellow was that basically for the first 3 gyms, I didn't know how to speed it up. And then did it accidentally. And then figured it out. So now it'll be quicker to get through the game, I suppose.
Yeah, if your walk speed's cracked out, that makes the game more playable, period. We should have always had that feature.
Yeah, definitely. Because
I
it
know it-
automatically speeds it up to 600%. So it's like, oh, I have to go deal with the super long Nurse Joy yakking at me at the Pokemon Center. Speed through it.
I know it's supposed to be a big reward to get the bicycle, but honestly, I'd rather just hack the game and move faster.
Yeah, I went so long without getting the fucking bike in the game. Because, like, I didn't know the order of everything. I even did some of the gym leaders in the wrong order. I did Sabrina before I did Koga, because I forgot Koga even existed, like everybody does. So, like, the level gap was huge, because she had a level 50 Abracadabra and Alakazam, and he had, like, level 40-something, couple Venonats and a Venomoth. And I did Sabrina first. I did everything in the wrong order. I didn't get the bike until, like, though it was the last thing that I could do. And I did all kinds of shit in the wrong order. So, whatever. Never wanted to
Well.
get the bike.
My goal, probably, as far as game stuff in the in the coming months. I do kind of want to get to streaming games and doing that. I don't want to grow super social media platforms, but I'm Jeff Without Pants on every platform but YouTube and Twitch, so might as well build
Hell
the
yeah.
brand out. I'll probably do a different name for professional stuff, but that'll be its own thing.
Nice. And I plan to, like, so, you know, I've been doing the whole Breath of the Wild master mode, except not in the last 3 weeks. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those games that's just like, I feel like this would be better streamed, but I don't want to start streaming until I get a better computer that's more reliable.
What's your budget for that?
So, I think I'm going to wait for that. My budget for that at the moment is, I don't really want to spend anything right now.
Okay, that makes it hard.
Yeah,
Because I think it's easier to build a good. It's easier to build a good computer than I thought. Buying a GPU may not be that necessary right now. Yours still sucks, but I'll probably be buying like a 1060 for a couple $100 if I choose to upgrade this graphics card. But I didn't need to buy the CPU that I did. You could easily do $200 or $300 on the CPU, and then everything else is all cheap. Like you can get all the other components for like 150 or less. Like a good, you could definitely come to the modern world of computing for like 600 or 700 at the top. Because I've only spent 900, and my computer is way better than my old computer, and it's going to handle all the work that I need. I don't even have a GPU yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've found there's a couple that are around $900 that I've found that I believe would work. The issue is, like, when you look at the list on Adobe of, like, graphics cards that are supported, they don't have a full list. So it's kind of fucking stupid. So I had to go to different forums and stuff because the computer I was looking at has a 1660 Super for the fucking GPU, and they don't have Super anything on that list. But there's multiple people in the forum saying it's the same shit for that if the non-Super version is on the list, then it'll work. But I'm just kind of like, I don't know who to trust.
It'll work. There's no GPU that Adobe doesn't support. So but what Adobe should be listing is probably all GeForce and NVIDIA cards. It doesn't support other cards. Like, it'll still run the program. It
also has the, whatever
CUDA
it's called, the Raz, whatever the fuck.
Ray tracing?
There's a couple different ones. What?
I said ray tracing.
No.
Raz.
The other brand.
Radeon?
Yes. So they have both of those on there. And then there's a couple Intel ones, but, like, they're just not recommended.
Yeah, I don't even know what GPUs Intel makes. So the reason you would get a GeForce or anything NVIDIA makes is because they have CUDA cores, which is a proprietary technology, and Adobe has the CUDA rendering, which will optimize scrubbing your timeline if you have a GeForce card, which your card does. It's probably, of course, your card's way outdated. It doesn't have good virtual RAM, and it probably doesn't have a lot of CUDA cores, but it's...
the issue is that the drivers are 2 years out of date, and they don't have updates for them anymore because they're old as shit. Yeah,
that sucks too. And that just goes to the testament that you probably don't need as much as we usually think we do.
Yeah, it's hard to explain because it's hard for me to understand. Something about the Super is made more for gaming versus, like, rendering whatever the fuck. Just stuff I read. I don't know if it makes sense. I just decided I had to do a lot of research, and, you know, most of this shit I don't understand. And that's the whole reason why I haven't just, like, gone for the whole build my computer thing, because I don't trust myself to do it. So, you know, once we're vaccinated or something, and we can actually hang out, and you can, like, supervise or something, then, you know, maybe I'll be down to do that.
I got confused by that stuff, too. All the talk of optimized rendering shit, and that type of stuff, and I realized it was a lot of them. A lot of those people are talking about 3D rendering and doing professional 3D
Yeah.
modeling and shit, which is not exactly what we're doing. Like there is a 1-to-1 correlation between how many CUDA cores you have and how fast uh, Adobe will render a video project, but
Yeah.
it's not crazy important. And a 1060 Super would be just as good as a 1060. The only thing that they would put in there for gaming is more like ray tracing or tensor cores, things that won't map physics as well, but will give you better frame rates, which would suck if you were doing like an actual 3D modeling. It might do something wrong, but that's not, or do something more slowly. And then the cards that are designed for 3D rendering don't have any of the stuff that's optimized to just give you the most frames while you're playing is the issue. So like
Yeah.
AMD makes the workstation cards, which have a lot of VRAM and a lot of CUDA. They don't have CUDA cores because they're AMD, but that stuff wouldn't do that much better for us for video editing anyway, because VRAM lets you put a bunch of nonsense on the timeline and keep all of that in active memory, and then CUDA cores lets them render weird things out. So your card, no matter what you get, is going to be an upgrade. The 1060 Super would work, like it's not going to be rejected.
Yeah, and that's kind of the issue that I have is what I make, the videos and shit that I make are just like that's hard to explain to anybody. You know, it's like I do animation kinda, but also like take videos from other places and compile them. Like it's what do I do for that? Because I'm not doing like 4K photography, video, anything like that. I'm not like doing 3D models or anything like that. It's like what I need is fairly minimal, but at the same time, it needs to work. Because like I said, I got that one computer thinking it would work because it said that it could render and do all this stuff for video editing, and then it couldn't fucking do it because it was just a fucking lie. You know, but it worked for everything except that. It was just like, what the fuck is this? Why is this
Yeah,
dumb?
I would have to look at that computer if you still had the link. But hey dog, you want to go back inside? I'm not fucking with you about going to the trailer. Jesus.
Yeah, the issue
Yeah.
is that it didn't have like a GPU. It had like an Intel thing. It didn't have a discrete uh, graphics card or anything
Okay.
like that.
So it had integrated
Which
graphics.
was a thing that I didn't know. I don't know jack shit. But, you know, the fact that it straight up said fucking first line was just a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, so I'm just like, I want to be able to buy a computer that will last at least as long as this one did for what I'm using it for. So I'm going to drop a bunch of fucking money. But I don't need anything like super crazy spectacular because I'm not doing anything that requires that much shit. But I also don't want to end up with something that's pretty much the same or worse than what I have now.
Yeah, I probably over purchased because I was thinking about the last project that I did was a short film that was shot in a high resolution 4K. I don't think we shot it in 4K RAW, but then I did so much stuff, and it's not unusual for us to go to After Effects for things, and it's just like I need to be able to do, if I'm going to do editing for money, I'm going to have something to handle really big footage and do really intense shit. And then I booted it up and played with my old footage and stuff, and it was so fast, and I was just like, I could go so much cheaper. And I know my uncle's not shooting on a bunch of Blackmagic Cinema cameras. He's probably got one Sony A6400 and then some Canon camcorders that happen to do 4K, but like $100 4K. It's
Yeah.
like potato 4K, very low bit rate. It's
Yeah.
and that's the stuff that we do too. Just like taking, we don't even have to use PNGs all the time. If we can make a JPEG work for stuff for gags or for reference, YouTube stuff, man.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be that intense. But not having a graphics card is going to be a problem.
Yep. I'm like so dumb when it comes to all this. I mean, I guess I've learned a lot though through that purchasing experience of dropping almost $1,000 and then realizing this is fucking useless to me. I'm glad I didn't do anything to it like before that. You know, I didn't like download a bunch of shit. I had all the stuff saved to an external hard drive. I didn't like load it full of shit. So, you know, it was an easy factory reset and then send it back. But yeah, that was a learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be happy to help you. I mean, it's because you'll probably be fully vaccinated, and then you have to wait 2 weeks. So probably next month, everybody will be ready to get together and shit.
Yeah, it'll be like third week of May.
Yeah, and then we can go over to John's and build a PC. Go over and talk about parts and shit.
Yeah.
Because John said, I was just complaining about buying a graphics card right now because they're all sold out. And John was seeing my other parts list, and he's like, you don't need that hard drive. And I was like, bitch, I have an SSD. And he's just like, I'll check through your other components when I get home. I was like, I don't need you to check through my components, fool.
Yeah, see, that's super useful because, like, the main shit that I'm looking at, you know, because, like, you know, looking at the different stuff that people said on the Adobe forum and all that shit, and according to the requirements that Adobe has to run Premiere and everything, it was, you know, there was a lot of words with letters and numbers and things, and I'm just like, I don't know, how many cores, what does this mean? What does this graphics card have? I can't find that information. I don't fucking know what to do here. It's like, I understand that this graphics card will probably work, but what about all these other things? What the fuck is VRAM? And what's the difference with the DDRAM? What the fuck is happening? I don't understand. Like, I figured out I probably could use this graphics card, but what else do I need?
That's it. The VRAM is just like your video card's RAM. I guess it's supposed to be virtual RAM, but yeah, DDR is the generation of RAM that we're on. It's like a double data, whatever the fuck. I don't actually know what the R stands for. It's a doubling in technology every generation. DDR3 is super old. That's what you have now. Your current card has 1 gigabyte of virtual RAM, which is what your just like RAM for your computer. That's what your GPU will be using to like hold the scenes that you have on your timeline.
And then I have 32 gigs of RAM elsewise as well.
Which is a good number. It's probably DDR3 too. It's probably old.
Yeah, I'm assuming since this is a computer that was probably 2013. Yeah, it was Best Buy in 2014, probably 2013.
Yeah, I can't even use my old RAM. We're on DDR4 now for big sticks of RAM, and then GPUs are on DDR5 and 6. Going nuts out there.
Yeah, and then I couldn't figure out what the deal is with like the fucking i7, i9, i5, whatever the fuck all that is. I don't know.
Those are all processors from Intel. Which, if you're on forum boards, people, especially for gamers, people will be telling you to buy Intel because they have faster cores, but they usually have less cores. Like, cores are kind of like RAM. They can do multitasking the more you have. And video games aren't optimized to use more than 4 cores. So if you're buying an 8-core CPU for gaming, you're just wasting money. But for video editing, it can make a difference.
Yeah.
My new CPU.
My graphics card has 2 gigabytes actually. I'm looking
how
at the
about
thing
that?
right now. So
That's
maybe
what mine
it's
has.
worth more than $30.
Maybe I was looking at the wrong one. That's what my old Sapphire has, but it has 0 CUDA cores because NVIDIA owns the technology. So it's not great in Adobe, but yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the fuck CUDA cores are. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, NVIDIA owns it, and it's like usually core architecture on the GPU is meant to do certain things, just like a graphics card renders images, RAM handles quick memory, and then CPU handles calculations. CUDA core, like tensor cores, will do things like render quick data for frames or physics. Ray tracing cores are dedicated to tracing light on a scene. which is good
Yeah.
for rendering 3D models and shit. And then CUDA cores are just like essentially another source of RAM. They don't do anything until the computer calls it. They're free. They're like stem cells. You can make them do
Gotcha.
it. And I don't know how NVIDIA made that technology, but they patented it, so they own it. And Adobe has a partnership with them for using that.
Huh. Okay.
So when the crypto
Yeah,
miners
so-
stop buying them all up, I'm going to get like a new 3080, which has a lot of CUDA cores, but those are expensive as shit right now.
Yeah.
If
3080,
you could-
isn't that like the highest fucking thing?
It's 4 or 5 away positions from the top, I guess. But it's still...
Yeah, I was
if you,
curious and was looking at that shit. It's like, oh, the top one's like $6,000.
It's not actually. If you tried to buy one right now, you would have to pay a few $1,000s. So the one that I want to get only retails for $500 or $600, which is still a lot of money. But
Well, yeah, but that's not bad if it's gonna last forever.
no, it's not at all. You're building a new PC. I saved so much money buying all that stuff and building it myself that that's a solid investment. But if I wanted to buy it, like if I had to buy it today, it would cost me $1,200 because I can only get it from scalpers and crypto miners.
Yeah, that's nuts.
They're literally sold out like everywhere. And even your old graphic, like the 1060, I was gonna get a 1060 when I had $200 next time, but that card's still kind of old. Because
Yeah.
we're 2 or 3 generations ahead of that now. But it would be better than the card that I have, and my computer's not really struggling with much. I'll have to ask John
Oh.
to send me some kind of new footage.
Looks like the 1660s are still floating around.
Yeah, those should be cheap cards, but they're probably $200 or $300 right now.
Yeah. I mean, but even that doesn't seem fucking awful. Knowing how shitty everything is right now.
No,
What
that's
was I-
I would
I
pay
was-
that.
Yeah. I was looking at something today that was... I don't remember what it was. I was looking at something today, and it was like a slideshow thing, and it was like graphics cards and then Pokemon cards, and I'm like, wow, they're just selling everything that's impossible to get right now, I guess.
Yeah, scalpers.
Yeah.
There's some dude in England right now with like 30 PS5s and a bunch of graphics cards that I would like, and he's just hoping that nobody restocks.
Yeah. It's fucked
I know
up.
Biden opened a team to investigate why we're not making semiconductors in America, and what we have
I
to
was just
do
about to bring
make
that
them.
up.
But we're also
Yeah.
like having a bad time with China, who makes our semiconductors. So it's
Yeah.
coming from all sides. We can't get them. The people who sell them don't like us right now. The people who buy them are barking them up. It's just impossible.
Yep, and that is problematic for more reasons than we want to edit and play video games.
Yeah, there's a foreign policy issue in the way now.
Yep.
It's nonsense. Maddening.
So let's get some US graphics cards out there, and maybe they won't suck.
They'll probably be more expensive, but I guess just to get them at a stable market price. Well, that
Yeah.
doesn't save us from scalpers and crypto miners, but we don't have to worry about our supply being cut off from China just because someone's being a dickhead.
Yeah. And plus, having more of them will just reduce it slightly. Reduce the chances maybe slightly that we won't be able to get anything.
Yeah, and if we make some new competitors, like if NVIDIA comes out here and starts making cards in the U.S., the prices won't change that much, I don't think. But if we had a new company making semiconductors out here, then we might, the market would have more saturation and the prices would come down.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
It would be great. And then I would go buy a crazy graphics card.
Yeah. That was the other reason why I was looking at the 1660, because, the fact that my graphics card, just at one point, they were like, all right, it's done. No more updates, so now you have to look at this fucking awful window from Adobe forever that says shit's gonna get fucked up. I was just kind of like, I just want to make sure that I can get something that's gonna last. At least 7 years.
Mine will last.
I don't want.
Mine will last a while.
Yeah, I don't want to just get one and then they're like, haha, guess what? Now it's out of date. Sorry. Fuck, same problem.
The 1030's on Amazon for $160. There's a 1660 going on Amazon for $755.
Jesus.
That's not what they are supposed to cost.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Scalpers. Like I said, anything with the DisplayPort right now is going bonkers for some reason.
All for this cryptocurrency thing that I don't understand.
Assholes. Stupid buttheads.
Yeah. Go ahead.
1400 CUDA cores on the GeForce 1660. 2 gigabytes of VRAM. No, wait, that's not the card I was looking at. What the hell's going on?
What about the Super though?
It seems like it has. I'm reading an article. Replaces its 1400 CUDA cores with a base clock of 1500 megahertz and a boost clock of 1700. So it reads faster. The Super has 6 gigabytes of VRAM, which is good. But it's GDDR6, so that's still relevant. Stupid articles. That's not how I want to look at specs. I don't want to read articles for specs.
Now, when you say relevance, is that like good relevance or?
What did I call relevant? Oh, right. The GDDR6 is modern. That's there's GDDR6 and GDDR6X, which I don't really know what the X stands for. I guess it's faster.
It just makes it seem cooler. It's straight edge.
It looks like the 1660 regular would have more CUDA cores, which would be better for rendering videos in Adobe. And then the Super has a higher clock rate on its cores, so they process faster. So if you're trying to get more frames out of a video game, that would be more important than having extra CUDA cores. That's probably what those kids were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
But the Super would still be a big upgrade. 1660 would be a big upgrade for me too.
Yeah.
It has modern memory architecture, so that would probably kick the can down the road for me a long time.
Hell yeah. I wonder if I could just put that in the computer that I have now and then just slowly update everything else.
Yes, you could, for sure.
Since that's kind of my biggest issue.
Yeah.
But would the power supply work? Is all that I don't even know what my power supply is.
The power supply goes straight to the GPU. It's got like 6 to 8 pins on it. You would just find those pins and plug them in.
Yeah, but you gotta have enough power to work the fucking thing.
Is there anybody selling one for not insane? AliExpress has them for $200.
That's not bad.
Wish has one that's also listing
AliExpress,
wrong
like
specs. Oh, AliExpress is like I think it's related to Alibaba. It's another Chinese wholesale company.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it like kind of fucking shady?
I'll pay them through PayPal.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, all the people who are selling them are not names that I recognize, except for British miners, which are scalpers selling to crypto miners, which they want to sell the card for $460. It's eBaying for up to $600 in other places. This is ridiculous. I hate the market.
Yeah, this is fucked. I decided to jump onto Amazon. $859.
Alibaba, there it is. $26 delivery fee, but it's $258. But it's the game. It's the cracked out edition. It's got 3 fans on it. I'll keep it cool.
Huh.
That's probably what I'll do is a 1650 or a 1660 from whatever is a reasonable price. It'd be nice to get it from Amazon or even Newegg.
Yeah. Well, Amazon's not a reasonable price. Like $900.
Balls. That's more expensive than a really high-end modern graphics card is supposed to be.
Madness.
Newegg is also selling it for $750. That's ridiculous.
eBay, it's $565. It's looking like. Yeah. Wish. Wonder what the Wish version would look like.
Newegg has
look real.
Newegg has a certified refurbished version for $300. Oh, it's out of stock. No, they don't. Son of a bitch.
Walmart is $860. That's crazy, bro.
When did this card even come out?
I don't know. Nextwarehouse.com has it for $500.
Okay, they're only a year old. It came out October of last year. So 300
cool.
wouldn't be 3 or 400 wouldn't be a crazy price to pay for that.
Yeah, I think I would pay that much for that. If it's that fucking new, hell yeah.
That might be the move depending on how the market goes. If I could, damn, they're all going to be. So this was supposed to be the entry gaming card, I guess, but that's still really good. The technology got really, really good. The technology got so good so fast, but then crypto miners and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Office Depot has a computer that has the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Super, and it was like it's $949.
Well, you could buy that and then sell the GPU.
Yeah?
What does it say what kind of processor it has? CPU?
Let's see here. Processor, Core i7. Intel Core i7. 10th gen, 8-core. Processor speed 2.9 gigahertz. Storage capacity 512 gigabytes. That's not great. 16 gigabytes of RAM.
Is it 250 SSD or HDD?
SSD, you say?
SSD would be fast.
What would that be? Like memory?
It's solid state. Yeah, it's flash memory. It's solid state. It's faster than like the big hard drive spinning disk stuff. The i7 10th gen is pretty modern technology. 8 cores would be not for gaming. That'd be more appropriate for video editing. That can handle a lot of tasks.
Yeah.
Mine's 12 core, but that's unnecessary. I think 8 core is totally fine if it's affordable. 2.9 is slow for Intel, but you will play games, but it's not one of their gaming speeds. It's not bad. That's not a bad CPU at all.
Yeah, and I don't really play. I don't play graphics heavy games anyways on computer.
That's true.
I don't know where to look for. Oh, storage type solid state drive. That's all it says.
Yeah. So your That makes sense. So it's 250 gigabytes of solid state, or 500.
512 gigabytes.
That's pretty good.
storage
That's
capacity.
that's like $150 worth of storage. It's not. I mean, obviously, if you're doing a lot of footage, it's not much. But you would just buy externals or regular hard drives for that. That'd be
Yeah.
putting it on a flash storage would make Windows and Adobe run faster.
Yeah. There was one thing on here that I was confused by. It says HD capability no. Like, what does this mean?
What? Send me the link. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck does that mean? You can't even be at 720? I guess 720 is not technically HD anymore, but... Can't be at 1080? What does this mean?
Does that just not mean what I think it means? Because your GPU would drive all that, unless it's talking about the motherboard, which it doesn't list. Sent me to the Lenovo website.
Such questions.
I guess it's trying to say it's not necessarily 4K supported, but your GPU's 4K supported, I would imagine. Okay,
Yeah,
so they
that
have
seems
all
like-
sorts of dumb definitions on the thing. Now it's saying HD is 720, full HD is 1080, quad HD is 1440 for gaming, ultra HD is 4K.
Okay, so it can't be in 720? But it can be over that, right?
Yeah, I would be really surprised if it doesn't do that, because it's all modern hardware. I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be able to do that.
And see, that's
Thanks.
why I was confused. That was one of the big things that stopped me from just grabbing this computer. 9 USB ports. Wow.
It's fancy.
Optical drive type, none. Optical drive would be like a DVD player, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who needs it?
You could put one in. I've got one. I put my optical drive in and I didn't wire it up. That's such an afterthought.
So it's just there.
Yeah, it's just supposed to hold my copy of Barbarella anyway.
Oh, okay. Barbarella. Remember when we talked about that on the podcast?
It's a classic film. I would say that for $900, it's a good computer, but that is just a dumb thing for them to put on their website.
Yeah. Thought that was pretty odd.